Hey everybody, welcome to the NEPA Scene Podcast, the only live streaming face-to-face arts and entertainment podcast covering northeastern Pennsylvania, offering a true alternative voice in local media. We're coming to you from the NEPA Scene studio underneath Center City Print in downtown Scranton. I'm Rich Howells, the founder and editor of NEPA Scene. Summer Costco is behind the scenes in the producer's chair. And tonight, we're here with Scranton hard rock metal band Drowning Kelly, who are set to release their new album Eclipse with a Halloween show at the Moon Tavern in Dickson City. In their first podcast interview as a band, we're talking about the messages in their music, the stories behind all the songs on their seasonally appropriate second album, their gothic makeup and dark aesthetic, building a local fan base, working with promoters like Sled Dog Entertainment and making connections in the local heavy metal scene, living with and raising awareness of diabetes, their favorite Halloween traditions, their album release show coming up on Friday, October 31st with Strange Culture, Slapjaw, and Acid Rat, and much, much more. So please join us in the conversation with your questions and comments down below. So if you know these guys and you want to add something about maybe a recent show you saw them at, or tell us your favorite song that they played, or if you're not familiar and you want to get to know them a little bit better, leave your questions and comments down below. We'll get to those later on in the show. Before we dive in, I just want to thank our sponsor, Center City Print, who provides us with this great studio space. Use promo code NEPA Scene in person or online at centercityprint.com for 10% off. Center City Print can bring your ideas to life in 4 locations: Scranton, Old Forge, Kingston, and Hazleton. These one-stop shops are locally owned and operated, offering high-quality printed products, copy and print services, and design solutions to help you, your small business, your nonprofit organization, your band, your art project, your event, or any venture thrive. Use promo code NEPA Scene in person or online at centercityprint.com for 10% off.
Perfect.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's really impressive, honestly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get started by letting you guys introduce yourselves and your position in the band.
I can't share it. I don't have service.
I guess I'll start. My name is Patrick Flynn. I play bass. I help write. I help come up with like some creative ideas in the band. I also help take care of this guy.
Yeah, occasionally saves my life and shit, you know. It's small stuff.
That's important. Yeah.
I won't give him too much credit. I'm Kelly King. I'm the main writer and the creator of the project. I want to limit my introduction because I could talk forever, and these guys know that. But it took me forever to find like the right team of people to do this with, and like it's just such a blessing to know these guys, honestly. So
we'll get into that in just a minute.
Yeah.
I'm Ronan Gray. I play guitar. I drive the vehicle to shows. Help out with some of the tech stuff and some of the business end of it.
I'm Mikey Hawk. I have a bunch of different roles. But I help with their sound. What else would you get? Because it's kind of like a difficult...
He makes sure we don't look like idiots on stage. He helps with guitar changes. He helps us mix our sound as we go and stuff. He works very, very closely in conjunction with whatever sound guy we're working with at that time. He does a lot. It's kind of hard to put a label on it, actually, though, because it always depends on like what's going on right there and then.
Yeah,
He's our Swiss Army knife.
Yes,
that's what you
Mikey,
are.
you are our Swiss Army knife. Yeah, that is.
I agree with that statement.
Yeah.
And I look good. That's all that matters.
Yeah, there we go. He's our merch girl.
I'm the merch girl.
Yeah.
So going back to before this band ever existed, what made you first pick up an instrument and or show any interest in music?
So I grew up in a very, very musical household. My dad earned his main income through music literally since I can remember. Like, there was always a guitar around somewhere. He had a studio in our first house, and like, it was him and my mom. They used to be in a band together, I know she played bass and sang, and he's always been guitar, singing, but he can, like, he's another Swiss Army knife. He can do, like, anything. So I was always around pianos, lots of singing, guitars, basses, everything. And it honestly, I got my first drum kit at 3, and, like, I started learning very early, but I didn't take a massive interest in it until I was about 13 to 16. Those years were, like, my really big transitional years where it's like, okay, this is clearly something I have a natural inclination towards and I'm very interested in pursuing because it just feels right. And that avenue was so available and easy because I had a great support system with my family. Like, they just actively encouraged it. So from like 13 to 16 on, I just absolutely fell in love with the craft of music. And it was largely because my father was always playing. And I always had access to live music. And it was just something that always enamored me. And, like, I mean, like I said, I could talk forever about it. But, yeah, the first thing that really made me feel like music could be something important and serious to me was the fact that I tried getting into, like, you know, different, like, rock music and everything, and the first thing that hit me in a serious capacity was the lyrics. I realized that, like, not all music has it has layers, you know, like, and I realized really quickly at that age that, like, a lot of the harder rock and, like, the stuff that I was getting into tackled a lot of the issues that were relevant to me at that point. And, like, that idea that you can use music to be a voice for really difficult issues was something that helped me, like, stay strong through some really tough times. And I mean, that's for any genre of music, but that's for, like, personally what hit me, you know? But.
How about you guys?
You want to go, Pat?
Sure. My first, like, interest really when it came to, like, music was honestly, I started from Guitar Hero, Rock Band, Rocksmith. I just loved playing video games as a kid, and when those came out, like, that was just such a lot of fun time. I spent a lot of time, like, just playing those, and then as, like, I would play them, I would always go to, like, the harder, more, like, complicated ones, so, like, the Metallicas, the Megadeth, and then I was always playing them so much that, like, parents got me a guitar, and then I started taking lessons from when I was, like, 13 or so, and that's kind of just became, like, my whole identity when I was, like, 13, so it was pretty much just wake up, go to school, get home, and then it's, like, I was locking myself, like, in the room just playing for, like, hours at a time, and it just kind of became my whole thing, really. I just eat, slept, breathed, just, like, thinking about music and guitar and just how I can go about playing. What was I gonna say? For me, like, the heavier music, really, that just became my go-to because, like, it was just more fun, you know? Like, I was always, like I said, a huge fan of Megadeth and just always just the intense speed and accuracy involved in it. I was always just trying to, like, get it cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. And I actually started learning guitar at first. Kind of hit that little plateau for a while, and I was just kind of like, I'm just kind of learning, like, the same songs, just going over the same things. After about, like, 2 years, asked my parents for a bass. I got one for, like, Christmas, whatever. And I kind of realized, like, after playing it and switching lessons to bass lessons, that, like, it was just more fun. You know, kind of, like I said, like, Megadeth, Metallica. What was another big one for me? Yeah, Tool, really. I didn't realize at first that those were, like, bass, like, heavy bands, like, or at least they had really great bass parts to them, and that Really just what made me fall in love. Like I said, I thought it was more fun. It let me have more freedom to do kind of more weirder, different things than like a lot of chuggy. I have to like find my spaces in order to like have like an interesting part, and yeah.
I've always said I have two comments,
Sure.
and actually, it's kind of funny that like I didn't think of this till after you started talking about all of it, but like getting into the music that I'm into now and everything, most of it is his fault because I remember we started hanging out when we were 13.
Yeah.
I moved on the same street as him and our drummer.
Yeah.
We lived in a triangle, and
Yeah.
I was that kid that was like, oh, I don't mind the heavier stuff, but it's just, it's gotta have singing, it's gotta, yeah. And then I thought Slipknot was too heavy, and like anyone who knows me, that's like my favorite band.
No, and I remember showing you the music video to Spit It Out because you were such a huge Stephen King fan.
Yeah,
And I was like, hey, look at this, dude. It's gonna be so cool.
yeah, and part of me was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But the other part was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
But like
the first time you hear it as like a teenager or whatever, sorry to cut you off,
you're good.
you're kind of like, oh god, it's kind of like a bit scary, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's an experience. I'll never forget it. I remember that night like vividly, dude. But he got me into so much of the music that I was responsible for our sound now. I mean, the big one that like it's just an elephant in the room in any conversation is Breaking Benjamin. Like I've said before like so many times they're my biggest influence like in a lot of our writing. And but the other ones that I don't get to talk about a lot are largely what he was into, and like I saw him grinding on these guitars and like working his ass off to be able to play these lines, and I'm like, holy shit, And I've always said the best bass players start off as the psychotic guitarists that are like, you know what, 6 strings is too easy, I need to limit myself. Let's cut back on this and make it absolutely impossible,
On telephone wire.
Yes, exactly. So he is that guy that's like, you know what, let's go nuts with a bass guitar. So but yeah, I remember the like 4 or 5 bands that we just had on rotation all the time, you, me, and Evan, were Avenged Sevenfold.
Yes.
Which I was so shocked you didn't bring them up because I was waiting for it and then you didn't say anything. Oh man. But yeah, we were like obsessed with Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah.
But then we used to play Call of Duty and have like all-nighters, and that's when he got me into Megadeth. And some of their compilation disc of their best of stuff is just ingrained into my head because that's all we would listen to for like 8 hours at a time.
Yeah, that was just our Call of Duty. Like that was our band for that one. We had like different like bands for different games and stuff.
We did because then Mortal Kombat 9 was Disturbed.
Yeah,
I remember that, dude. Hell
Yeah.
yeah! And then of course Breaking Ben was Halo.
Yeah,
Because of course it was. But yeah, so you had a lot of like Megadeth, Metallica. You were really into Slayer back then too.
Yeah.
And then Avenged Sevenfold, then Ghost. I remember Ghost started getting really popular back then, and that caught on real quick. But like,
I remember seeing like hearing Monstrous Clock like on the internet, and then I just could not find them for a while, and then their Meliora came out, and I was like, oh, that's them.
Yeah. It's just funny though because like I remember having a conversation with him a while ago when like we started to kind of relax into our roles a little bit more. We were less concerned about getting it up and running, and we were just focusing on the progress that we've made. And I just had this revelation. As like, dude, like I know we've been friends for a while, but I just realized all the music that I didn't have anyone that's in this lineup on the first album. It was the writing was me and one other person. It was Ilya Brusovanik, great friend of mine. Oh yeah, it wouldn't be a Drowning Kelly interview show thing if there wasn't diabetic alarms going off.
Yes.
Somebody in the comments keep a counter of how many we got. But
That's one.
that's one.
Yep, that's one.
All right, we'll count it 1.5 because there was
Right
one before.
before,
right before we started.
Yeah. But I remember having a weird moment where I was like, what's it like to know that all of the music you got me into is why the first album sounds like it does. And it was just a weird moment of like, yeah, you did that. Like you helped put those ideas in my head.
I remember I was there for when Illy had recorded the intro to Monsters. That was cool.
That was really cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he is.
Actually, one of our favorite songs to play almost got scrapped because I couldn't find a vocal harmony that I wanted, and like I couldn't find the right notes to kind of send the vibe correctly. And I remember sitting down with him, and we took it wasn't even that long. It might have been like 20 minutes, and he just sat there with a piano, and we were trying to map out the chorus for it. And the only reason that we didn't scrap the song is because he came up with the melody for it, and it was so cool, But coming back to that, it's such a different dynamic now because being able to have a team of people to write with is something I've never gotten to experience before, and now that I do, it is incredible. I'm sure that'll come up later, but
For sure.
yeah.
Sorry. All right.
I can talk a lot.
I think it's your turn.
Rome.
For me, well, I was always interested in music since I was pretty much in diapers, and there wasn't really a heavy music influence in my house. My dad listened to classic rock. My mom listened to whatever was on Magic 93, which I knew I didn't care for that too much. But I always wanted to do something with music, even before I could even really think for myself. But I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and then one song came out. I think my sister had it playing in her room the one day with max volume. You could hear it downstairs. It was an Eve 6 song, and as soon as I heard Inside Out, it was like that tone of that guitar. It's just all right, that's what I want to do. I want to play guitar. So I started haggling my parents as much as I possibly could, and they started getting me lessons, and I kind of stuck with it. Played in a couple small projects growing up that, looking back on it, was a little rough, but
Yep.
Who can't say that though?
yeah, it's true.
You gotta start somewhere, man.
My thing was I was about to hang it up altogether because life gets busy when you get older, and I haven't been in a band in over 10 years till I found these guys. And actually I was on Facebook one weekend, and a mutual friend of ours was posting that he was looking for a guitar player, and I looked at my girlfriend and I was like, I don't know why, but I think I kind of want to investigate this. She's like, go for it. So I messaged him and got in contact with Kelly, and he's like, yeah, learn a couple songs and see you at practice. And I don't know, I'm kind of glad that I did, because if I didn't find this, I probably still wouldn't be playing guitar.
Yeah. My household, I grew up with pretty much a country household. So the twang from Dwight Yoakam, Marty Stewart, Travis Tritt.
Okay.
I always enjoyed that.
I was going to say,
style.
so some classic stuff there.
Yep. My dad, he was a ZZ Top guy.
Okay.
And my mom, when it came to rock music, was Bon Jovi.
Hell
So-
yeah.
That first time I heard the guitar solos from Bon Jovi, I knew I wanted to play guitar because I am a guitar player. So I think I got my first guitar when I was either 8 or 9 years old. So ever since then, I've just been into the music, and it just got progressively heavier to an extent. I'm not a huge fan of this big screaming, where you can't understand a word. But
Right. Yeah, that's kind of...
I enjoy the musical aspect of it. It's just,
Yes.
it's not my preference.
Exactly,
But
yeah.
that's where my musical taste started and progressed.
So how did you guys all kind of... I mean, we know you guys knew each other for a while, but how did you guys all kind of get together and form? Now, did you started this as kind of like a solo thing that developed into a band, or was
Pretty
the idea
much.
I always wanted a band, but I just couldn't get there yet?
Yeah, always wanted a band.
Okay.
Always wanted a band, but it took so many different life forms over the years, man. I remember I wanted to find someone who could sing because I was like, I can't sing, I'm and this is when I was like maybe 14ish, and I was like, it's just not my thing. And it's definitely confidence related at that point, but like I was like, I'll just be the drummer, because that was my first instrument. It just made sense. And when me and him would get together, I can't even remember how many times we've had the cops called on us for sound violations at my dad's house. I was always like, I'll just be the drummer. And then I picked up a guitar when I was 15, and like I dabbled before. I got my first guitar when I was 8, and I neglected the fuck out of that thing. I didn't pick it up for years, and I don't know. I started to realize, like, it's my mom who made the recommendation first. She was like, hey, you have an iPhone. Like, there's apps where you can get, like, the 4-track recording thing. Just see what happens, you might really enjoy it. And I started to do that. And like you said, it was kind of like a solo project, but it's sort of like, I'll just do this for me. I want to have fun, play some of my favorite guitar lines, and then that slowly turned into like, oh, well, what if they played it this way? And then I started experimenting with, well, if I change it, these notes, it's now an inspiration. It's something that I've taken from the music I love, and I've made it my own. And then that twisted into, well, how would I have changed it? And I always kept on playing with formula and everything. And eventually, I used GarageBand to start writing demos and everything. And that happened realistically, like the first couple songs that I started to like really be like, okay, I think I could turn something out of this, was when I was 18. And the first song I ever wrote was Smoke and Mirrors. And it sounds way different than it does now, obviously. I think I still have the demo sitting somewhere. But it took me forever to find the right people. That's largely just because like life gets in the way. People move, people prioritize different things differently. Still have a really soft spot in my heart for all the people that I played with over the years and everything. But for a while, it was like kind of a solo project because I couldn't find a way to make it work. And the other thing that's really interesting, actually, I feel like there's not a lot of like overlap with this. Is like I grew up playing covers because like I was always with my dad, and I said before, he was always like gigging, and that's how he makes his main income and everything. I was so used to the idea that like this will never be successful unless I'm playing Bon Jovi or Skinner or fucking, I don't know, any of the popular bands you can think of that you hear anytime you go out to a bar, And I never realized like that originals were viable, and that's one of the reasons it stayed a solo project for a long time, because we were kind of stuck in this weird limbo of like every time I'd have someone come on to the project, we couldn't figure out if it was going to be a cover band or if we were going to write originals or just really where that was going. And like finding the right environment really helped just project the idea that the original music could actually grow into something. And kind of losing my train of thought.
So this is 2023, 2024, 2022.
So the first group of people that I was able to play with and actually kind of start getting my foot in the door in some places was like 2020, 2021.
Okay.
And I had been playing with a drummer named Tom Galambos, and we were doing covers for a while, and it took us a while to find a bass player, but then he invited his friend, which was Ilya, and he wound up helping me write the first album. That was like 2021 that we kind of got out off the ground, and then I believe it was 2 years ago now, almost. So 2022, 2023, I released the first album with Ilya. And once that album materialized and it became a physical thing I could hold, I pretty much never looked back after that as far as like going back to playing covers, because it's like there is a market for this. You just have to operate it differently than like the cover stuff. And it took me a really long time to realize that. But honestly, and I know I only speak for myself here, but like there's a lot of money in the cover stuff, and I totally get why people do it. But me personally, like the feeling of, I don't even know what to call it, validation, reward, whatever, or like just seeing it, all the energy put into music come back to you is so much more rewarding in originals. It doesn't matter if there's like 2 or 3 people out there. As soon as I see somebody singing the words to a song that we wrote, like there's literally no feeling on the planet that kind of compares to that. That's crazy, you know? So yeah, I mean, originals are just the way to go for me personally.
So then this lineup that you're with currently is more 2023, 24, something around that.
So that's the crazy thing. We've only been playing together with this lineup. We've only been playing like just barely over a year. Yeah. So everyone adapted to the material and like the vibe of everything really quickly. It's just one of those things you felt like it's meant to be the way it is, and it's finally functioning how it should. You know.
So how did that help develop your sound to where it is, to where you're leading into the second album? You've got the first album kind of the way that you want it, but obviously with new people coming in and stuff, they're going to add touches, they're going to play things differently, that sort of thing. So maybe talk a little bit about maybe the development of the sound.
I know I've talked a lot, so I'll pass it to one of these guys for now, but I definitely want to play ball here because I have a lot to say about that. Sure.
May I?
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, can you just rephrase, like, restate the last bit of it? How it compared us being involved compared to before, how that affected the upcoming album versus the older one?
Yeah,
I was kind of around.
I would say before, as the you have the first album to kind of go off of like, okay, here's the starting point. Now, how are we're coming into this, how are you guys as band members developing that sound and maybe changing it a little or adding your own little flourishes or things and kind of leading it into, we won't talk about the second album just yet, the era of, I guess the album is 1031 is the original. So
yeah, it's the first one.
So how did you guys touch on add your own touches to that?
So, like Kelly was kind of like touching on earlier, you said like you have like a formula. You wouldn't really say that. It's just like their way of like composing and structure coordinating of our songs. So we just stuck to that. But in terms of like,
to a point, I mean, I think there's a lot that's changed, but it still has a lot of vibes going back.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we still have a lot of our sound still involved, but I mean, overall, we as a group were more wanting to lean into the more like aggressiveness of our sound versus, I will kind of say there are times where 1031 is kind of a bit more like open with its sound versus Eclipse, which is going to be more direct, focused. It's more like
it feels cohesive.
Yes.
And I keep on telling everybody who has been following the band to go in with a fresh palette because the heavy is way heavier and the soft is way softer. I feel like, I mean, you've heard us over the years, and also we let you listen to the album early and like.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
Yeah. Don't worry. Luckily, we're not live.
Yeah, no one will know.
I think, honestly, thinking about it, I think what we talked about in the beginning when we were starting to see like the early stages of these songs coming together, it holds true to a point, but not as much as drastically in the beginning. But it's somewhat as like a roller coaster going through this album. It's definitely I wouldn't say a different take because there's a lot of similarities, but it's definitely freshened up.
Yeah, I was very careful to try to keep like the vocals similar in the parts that they needed to be. I really tried to not step back. I had a lot of different influences on this one. I mean, like I said, you know, Breaking Ben, Chevelle, Disturbed, and even like some of the hair metal stuff, like, you know, Bon Jovi, Poison, Crew, stuff like that. I grew up on that, and that is so obvious in the first album. You can really hear the influence, I think. And this one was different. My musical tastes, I still listen to this stuff, but it has definitely broadened. And a lot of the things that I listen to now definitely have affected where my writer's mentality was at. You know, I was telling Eric Abyss when we did an interview with him at the Moon Tavern that one of two of the biggest vocal inspirations on this new record were Tatiana from Ginger. I look up to her as a vocalist so much, and like I think she has such a great way of capturing like the harsh and the beautiful range, you know. But also, as far as the more harsh ranges, I've been really into Whitechapel the last year, and Phil Bozeman, like he's just not fucking human, you know. And every time I hear him do some stuff, I'm like, damn, I want to try that, you know. So it's definitely affected the writing on this one, but I was still very careful, like I said, to like try to replicate some of the feelings that I had on 1031 and bring them to the more open spots, kind of like you said, like the open spots of the music where it's kind of like the song is still coming together with verses or pre-choruses and you're still getting a feel for them. I really tried to incorporate that familiar sound. So you'll if you were a fan of the first one, like you're still going to find a lot that you're going to sink your teeth into on this, but it's definitely different for sure.
All right, so right before we get into that, I do want to ask: is there a story behind the name Drowning Kelly? How did you settle on that? How did you pick that name?
So there's a couple renditions of this story. There's a couple that are just blatantly untrue that I've kind of like thrown out some misinformation just to be funny. But honestly, I'm comfortable enough with things now that like I don't mind giving the real story behind it. But like I can't remember exactly the first couple times I heard it, but I saw all of these male artists going and using Kelly as their name, you know? And I was like, well, that's just interesting. Like, it's weird. I kept hearing it, and then, you know, I met a couple people who had that as their last name or whatever. It's for some reason or another, it's not even that relevant, but that name stuck in my head for a while. I've always had a very expressive side to me. And I've always been a very highly artistic person, but I don't necessarily relate to any sort of like gendered direction with expression. I am very attracted to traditionally feminine things, but also some masculine things I really identify with. As I was writing these things, specifically on 1031, and it's kind of something I realized after I'd named the project that. I feel like it was something that manifested in my head, and then I came up with the meaning for it, or tried to understand my own work. Because whenever I write, I try not to think too hard about what I'm writing about. I try to just let my subconscious flow and then understand the material later. And one of the things I realized is that I have a very vulnerable and kind of open side to me that I just don't share with the world a lot. I'm very closed off in certain ways. And like I'm a social person, so I feel like people don't see that a lot. But then going back to the original point, like I saw these people using Kelly as their artist name or like their alias. And I found it so interesting because there is this side of me that doesn't want to be open, but it needs to be expressed. It needs to. You're fired. But no, it's it's that thing where it's like I have this very, very emotional side of me that is drowned out by the fear of being vulnerable and the fear of being judged for just being who I feel I am on the inside. And it's drowning that part of my personality. And it's, it's essentially the effeminate side of me that is not afraid to be emotional. It's not afraid to kind of just do whatever. Sometimes it comes across as very angry, very kind of tough, kind of the masculine stuff where you get the more like gritty singing that I would compare to like the 3 Days Grace sound and everything. You get the screams and stuff, but specifically on this new one, you can definitely hear like I'm not so focused on having harsh sounding vocals. Like I said, the soft is like way softer, There's a song that kind of goes really in depth with the whole identity of Drowning Kelly, and it's called Watch Me Disappear, and it kind of explains. I'll be very interested to see other people's interpretation of it, but it explains that side of me, and it explains why the alias and how, certain parts of ourselves we repress in certain social settings because we're afraid of how they might be perceived incorrectly, and a big positive in my life is like I'm not necessarily afraid of that anymore because I have people in my corner that no matter what are going to support me, and like that is such a freedom. But
who's that?
It's you, two guys. But
can I add to that for 1 second?
Yeah, of course.
I remember when you wrote that song, when you were working on the lyrics, because the instrumentals were already done, and you just sent over the lyrics, and you titled what the song was, so I knew that. But he's like, just read them and like think about it for a day. Don't call me right away. Just let me know what you think. And this is what I like about your writing, because it's actually, I don't think you do it intentionally, but you always do it. I came up with my own determination based on how I was feeling when I read it. And he had something totally different in mind. And then you came up with something totally different. And it's just really interesting because it kind of, if you're feeling some way about something, a lot of the songs in this project, you could read through and it just fits right in the hole, even though that might not be what you were projecting.
It is.
It's really interesting that you actually structure things and write your lyrics that way.
Thank you. I have to credit that though to honestly one of my biggest local influences. He's been super kind to me and also really supportive when it was early and I was still trying to write a lot of the original material for the first album. That's Ryan Williams. He's a really good friend of mine and he's been awesome and nothing but supportive. I remember when I was talking to him about lyrics the one time and he just told me like, think about any of your favorite songs. Can you honestly tell me for 100% certainty you know what the artist was thinking about when they wrote that song? And I thought about it and I was like, I guess really like no. Like not with any song you think about. Your understanding of that, obviously some artists are like, hey, this is definitively what this song is about, which is different. But most songs, you can come on back. We don't. We bite, but only if you want it.
Excuse me.
We're playing piss tag.
Yeah,
New sport.
That should be the real counter.
Yeah, there we go. There's my ADHD fire. Oh, right. He told me that the best lyrics are intentional but vague enough that no matter what somebody hears in it, they will find something to latch onto. So you want them to be personal, so they carry over that feeling in that heart, but at the same time, you don't want them to be so personal that nobody relates to it. You want to find that balance where anyone can relate to it if they're listening, but it still feels like you're talking to them. And I think that was one of the most shaping things that I've ever heard because I try to do that with everything I write now. And like what Brian just said is so true. Like I feel like none of our songs are just about one thing. They might have an overall theme, but there's always a sprinkle of something else going on, and there's always multiple things you can take out of them. So I do try to do that intentionally, and I'm a big believer of the fact that I will always have my meaning attached to the songs, and like when I hear them back, it'll take me back to a place from where I wrote them. However, once an artist puts a song or a picture, whatever their medium is, once they put that out into the world, the meaning behind that piece no longer really belongs to them. Whoever their audience is, how they interpret that, how they feel it, is infinitely more important than what the initial meaning was. So I always find it super interesting hearing what people think these songs are about, you know, because some of them are so personal. And I just, hearing what people perceive them as, it not only means a lot to me, but I genuinely find it so interesting, you know?
Well, another artistic choice of the band is your look and the makeup and stuff, and you know, some people will call that goth. I know some people don't like that term, or you know, stray away from that or whatever. But just as a shorthand here,
Sure.
but so that's an obvious choice. And I've interviewed Motionless and White a bunch of times. You know, those guys are from here.
Yeah, I love them.
And you know, when they I interviewed them when they started out, and I got to interview them a few years later. And you know, Chris, the singer, always talked about how, and he was always very honest about this. He's like, people gave us so much shit for that around here. Like, nobody accepted that. They were like, we're the weird goth kids. You guys are, you look stupid. Take the makeup off. It's a gimmick.
Right.
It takes away from your music. It sucks, whatever. And obviously, as we know, it really worked in their
out
favor.
For them. Yeah.
It worked out really fucking well for them.
Yeah.
To the point where they have a WWE wrestler who literally modeled her entire look
after them.
After them. You know what I mean? Like, and then they got to play WrestleMania out of that. Like, come on. So, you know, talk about a success story from Scranton, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But all that aside, the interesting part of that to me is the fact that people just kind of gave them shit about it all the time, and they just kind of kept with it because that was the vision that they had in their minds that they wanted to do, and that's how they went for it. I mean, look at Josh Balls and look what he's done with that.
Yeah.
So is that something that you guys have gotten shit for, or people said, maybe you shouldn't, maybe that's gimmicky or whatever, or is it something that from the very beginning people have been, that's awesome, that's really cool, I'm glad you're doing that?
I feel like 70-30 on that. I feel like it's been 70% a positive thing, at least in my experience, and 30% negative. But honest to God, it doesn't even feel fair, because I feel like if it weren't for them, we'd be having that same conversation. I feel like it is way largely accepted because of what they've done and everything that they've accomplished and made. I don't want to say mainstream, but I mean, like, they have successfully put themselves in a spot where they're on the radio, and every time they put out a song, like, it does incredibly well. They play WrestleMania, like, people know who they are.
Right.
And, like, we always get compared because, of course we do. We're two bands from Scranton. It's going to happen. And honestly, it's never a thing where it's like, oh, God, this again. Like, we're fucking honored that people think of that when... You know, like, that's so cool. And I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
No.
I definitely, I've always been into, like, very heavy theatrics and everything. But I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like they're not one of the big reasons I felt comfortable doing the makeup and doing the theatrics and the, you know, I felt I was able to express how I've always wanted to be because I saw someone who came from where I grew up doing exactly what I wanted to do. Yeah. I was like, oh shit, this is okay to do. You know, it is okay to be crazily expressive. And I indoctrinated that into my everyday wear. Like, that's just part of who I am. Yeah. You know? I know it's a little different. We got a little bit of our residential rednecks over here. Yeah. But, you know, it's, for me specifically, like I've always been really attracted to that stuff, and yeah, it's largely been a positive because people are like, oh shit, no one's doing that in this area. This looks so cool, like, it reminds me of Motionless, and like, you guys, you're killing it and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, it's really fun. Occasionally you'll get the guy that is like, oh, it's a gimmick, and
Right.
it is partially, but it's a gimmick that I really relate to, and I know you relate to, because that side of it is who we are. You go hang out with us outside of the band, and I always look like this, unless I just got off work and I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's mostly been positive. But I have to say, like, I don't think I'd be sitting here saying that, oh yeah, we can dress how we want and say what we want, if it wasn't for a band like Motionless in White paving the way. I mean, not like them, it was them. They were the guys from this area that, like, and yeah, I'm really grateful for that, honestly.
And at the same time, I don't think you guys are just trying to do what they're doing.
No, not at all. No.
I think the only real similarity that I see is that you both have that Breaking Benjamin influence.
Yeah.
Which didn't come out of Motionless initially. You
Right.
kind of let that come out later.
Right.
So you listen to that first album that they did, and I didn't really hear any of that at all. It was more of like a metalcore sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then they, as they kind of played with different sounds and things like that, you hear it more and more in a lot of their newer stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't shy away from it. They're not, saying like, oh yeah, that's not the case or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I always thought that was interesting. So that's probably the only
It
real
is.
crossover that I see with what you guys are doing at all.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember who it was. Someone said it perfectly. They're like, there is a Scranton sound. There's an NEPA sound that comes out of this area.
Yeah.
And nail on the head with that one.
Sure.
I really feel like, actually, I know exactly who it was. It was Gavin Fink. I was talking to him the one time, and he was just talking about, like, his father's work with Breaking Ben and Motionless, and even Fuel,
Yeah.
Like, different genre, but it's still got a similar vibe.
Yeah.
And it's weird because obviously you're talking about bands that use like screaming and breakdowns and stuff, and then you have a band that is more on the side of rock and like
Yes.
post grunge like Fuel, and like. But you know what personally I realized about it, and obviously this is super generalized across different bands from this area. I feel like it's related to the beats per measure. I really do, and that's why I have. And he can attest to this. I have my favorite BPMs to write in memorized. I know exactly what they are. Okay. And as soon as I select one, I know how long a song is going to be.
But I also feel like that's also highly comprised of like you started as a drummer. So I feel like that's an important part of it as well.
Okay.
Yeah, valid.
I can see that.
We're gonna get into that. I love driving you guys nuts. You're like, just when you get to that part, just count a little bit more. It's like, who counts? I'm a guitar player. That's why you put this clicky thing in my ear.
Yeah, and I always am just going like dumb fast, so it's like you always have to like reel me back
Pat,
too.
I'll spill the beans. I actually do count. I just like ticking him off, especially at practice. It's great.
Oh, I know you count. I know you count. Yeah. But, yeah, the theatric side of it, just to kind of wrap up on that question, I've only ever seen a handful of negative comments on that because I think genuinely that extra mile of the clothing and I don't know, we've used confetti cannons and bubble guns and shit. Like, we like to throw a fucking party. And I feel like it doesn't matter if it's all black clothes or the makeup. No matter how we choose to do it, that's always expressed. I feel like that does carry through in our performances. And I think that's why it's been positive, is because we make people have fun.
I was going to say, I think that's has really helped you build. I think you guys have a nice, healthy fan base that is following you from place to place.
Yeah,
and
we
I think
love
a
our
lot of
fans.
that is those live performances just being super fun and enjoyable to watch. Even if you guys are just the opening act, You still are putting in a lot of effort, and I could see it.
Yeah, well, thank you. And like we really try. We spend entire nights on the couch. Like, guys,
Number 3.
what are we gonna do with the next one?
It honestly looks like a high school football practice. We're all sitting there watching YouTube clips. It's like, all right, how can we make this better next time? And then you decided to completely blow it out of proportion with that last headliner at the V spot. We were like, let's throw a rave. I'm like,
That was so much fucking fun.
all right, let's find the most ridiculous intro we can find and just come out with confetti cannons.
That was
and-
so
Oh yeah,
awesome.
and how long did you have to
Glow
listen to Cotton Eye
Oh
Joe?
my god.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It
here's
was 4 a.m.
Dude.
We put the iPad down. He's like, dude, do you care if I crash on the couch? I'm like, I'm going into bed. Do whatever you want at
Yeah.
this point. I don't care.
Yeah, so I got to start at the beginning to tell this story correctly, but it is a trek to get to the point.
I
so
never want to hear that song again.
Oh, me too. So we were like, all right, well, let's find like a cool intro rave thing. Let's figure it out. Because we're always doom and gloom and like, you know, it's fun, but let's kick it up a notch. Like, this is our first headlining show in a really long time. Let's have some fucking fun with this. And Mikey found Cotton Eye Joe and Gangnam Style mashup, and I was like, this is fucking perfect. Like, this is awesome. It had that club beat that's just going and going, and we're like, this is perfect. Well, then I was like, well, we use an iPad and GarageBand to kind of stitch our live sound together, and then that's what's playing when we walk out. And again, you know, that's what he does. He stands there and makes sure the shows go smoothly, and he orchestrates all of the changeovers and stuff. We were like, okay, well, if I just record this like I used to in middle school off the TV with my iPhone speaker, it's going to sound like liquefied dog shit. So that's out. That's not an option. We got to figure out a way to just get the wave file from this video into GarageBand. And we're like, well, we do this all the time at, like, you know, the studio and, you know, just taking raw audio. And then we were like, yeah, but like our laptop's down. All we have is an iPad and our phones. So how are we doing this from here without making it sound terrible? I'm like, it can't be that hard. I'll just look for the song. I'll buy it if I have to, and I'll pull it into GarageBand that way. It was a fan-made mashup. So the only place you could find it was that exact video. And we're like, all right, okay, fine. Let's just take the audio from the video, find a way to isolate it.
Your
And,
exact words. Oh, it'll be real quick.
yeah, famous last goddamn words. So we're like, okay, well, how do you remove audio from a YouTube video and pull it into GarageBand? And it's like, oh, use this app. And we're like, okay, cool. So we download, like, we go through like 3 or 4 apps, and it's like, $19.99, you know, $20.99 to do this. It's like, fuck. Okay, what are our other options here? So I look it up, and they're like, well, you can go into your iPhone settings and go into the programming, and you can actually, yeah.
Probably shouldn't get into too many details here. Just saying.
Oh no, it's gonna be fine. It'll be fine. I found a video where they're like, yeah, you can actually make your own apps from like the internal settings on your iPhone, and you can program them to do different interaction things with like video, sound waves, all of it. And I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere here. And they're like, yeah, it takes 2 minutes. Those motherfuckers. I listened to Cotton Eye Joe for 8 fucking hours on a loop. I'm not exaggerating, okay? And it wasn't even just the regular. It was, you know, the boom, 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 over and over for 8 fucking hours. And I tried designing this thing so it would strip the audio and separate it from the video, and you could save the sound from that video to its own file as an MP3. Except for the fact that, you know, when you're tired, you don't think of the obvious shit. I sat there and tried to make this app, this custom app, work for like the entire night without restarting my phone so it could like reboot and adapt it to the software. So the reason it took so long, we're listening to it on a loop, because I'm sure the first question is like, well, why didn't they just pause it, you know? Well, funny story. We were trying to make sure it actually did what it was supposed to. Like, we pressed remove audio, and then it wouldn't save the file. And it's like, come on, you know? So, yeah, it was a 4:30 in the morning day, and we were like, yeah, fuck that song. Never again.
I think we got it home at like 4 a.m. after that show the next day.
Yeah. So it was Sleep Deprivation, the band, and over Cotton Eye Joe and Gangnam Style. So, yeah, fuck that mashup. Genuinely from the heart.
So obviously people are as enthusiastic about your stuff because you're putting so much time and effort into all those little details.
I fucking hope so. We did that for you. You know? Oh my god. But yeah.
All right, so we have a segment on the show called The Breakdown, where we go track by track on an artist's latest release to hear the inspiration and stories behind each song. So this can be, this is for all of you, this can be about the lyrics, the composition, the recording, or all of it, whatever you want to share, what you think is the most interesting thing about that particular track. So you guys want to do that with your new album?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to make the executive decision there. I don't mind talking about the new album.
Okay.
It's not like they're going to hear it just yet, but we can definitely tease the tracks here.
Yes, we could go as surface level or as deep as you want to go on these. So you don't have to tell us if there's a certain thing that you're trying to wait for the actual release to be out, because it's not out until Halloween. So
right.
For those who are
in a couple days.
Yeah, exactly. So not too long from now, but most people have not heard it yet. So I gave it. I listened to it twice, so I'd kind of have it in my head while we're talking about it. So this is your second album. It's called Eclipse. Mm-hmm. Set for release Friday, October 31st, and is that on all major streaming platforms? It'll be available that day?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So the first is kind of like an intro track. It's No Motive.
Yes. Before I say anything, because again, I know I can talk like crazy, I actually want to know what you thought, because you've heard all of our stuff from the first album. You've seen the live performances. You're basically at all of them because we play so much locally. You've seen us so much, and like everything I was saying before, there's definitely a definitive like style change up, and I want to know what you thought of that.
Well, I saw right away that it was definitely a lot heavier. And one of the things that really stood out to me was some of the interesting guitar work on some of the tracks, because there was and I made a note of it. The songs like Stinger, the opening of Stinger, and some stuff on Tombstones, where it's just kind of the raw kind of guitar in and of itself that, away from the typical heavy metal distortion aspect of it, just kind of standing on its own, which I thought was some interesting little like touches and stuff there. And I also felt it was really, and we were talking about this right before we started recording, kind of a storytelling sort of thing where all the tracks kind of tie together and maybe tell a story. And obviously you can interpret the story how you want to interpret it. But I felt like there was that cohesion to each song where, kind of they led into each other and whatever. And you have the classic, like, fuck you song followed up by the softer song. Yeah. Which is such a heavy metal thing to do, you know? So like that sort of stuff was in there. So yeah, that's my quick take on it anyway.
Okay. One of the things I've been itching to talk about, and we've kept super under wraps, is the fact that this is a concept album. Okay. And like, we were talking about it when it was finally like coming together at the end. All the tracks were recorded. And I let my dad listen to it. He's like, what would be really cool is this song right here and this song after that. It's like, I was listening to it and I'm like, yeah, it flows nicely like that. But I think the story really is pivotal. You need to have that be the main focus, because it really takes the whole listening experience, at least for me personally, like it elevated it to something else where it's like, I'm happy we pulled it off, you know? Because as soon as you said that, I was over the moon. Because it is absolutely telling a story. It starts off with that intro that
there we go.
we're not going to talk about too much, because I want everybody to get their own listening on it. But those guys are essentially talking about... It starts off with those two detectives, and they're talking about a thing that happened, and it involves two characters, and those two characters kind of carry the entire album. Now, the songs are about different things. It's not just all like telling a story. There's different themes and everything, but all of those themes tie into the theme of these two characters. And I'm very interested to see what people come up with as far as like what the story is. That being said, what do you think about the everything with the second album? Because I know I found Brian, and then quickly after he showed you the first album, and you saw the second album like start snowballing. So like, how was things as far as the change up for you? Because like, I've been dying to hear about this one. I already know what your favorite song is.
Yeah. I love the second album. It is a little heavier,
Yeah,
which
a tad.
most people know is out of my taste a little bit.
Yeah.
But I feel like the album is half and half. So you get the heavy, you also get the softer rocker style music, which I enjoy.
Yeah.
I do have a favorite song on there. There is a hint in one of our Facebook posts in a comment.
Yeah.
So
I'm oblivious to it. I bypassed right by it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I do love the storytelling in the whole album. The guitar work, absolutely love it.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say, just because I don't want to lose sight of the point, and then I want to hear your thoughts on everything too. And of course, you recorded all the bass for this.
Not all.
Which I want to give Pat
True.
credit for on the bass.
Yeah, holy shit.
In this album.
I did it.
Man deserves a bigger award after this one.
Yeah. Well, he got it. He
did get the
I am a
award.
big bass guy. I like to hear the bass. I don't like to hear it drowned out.
Yeah.
We don't. It's definitely prominent. You can hear it on.
Yeah.
the song.
Which
You can't drown him out about a block away from the practice space. You can feel
you
him.
can feel it.
I remember it's like every other week he comes down with some new speaker or new cab or head, and we're just like, Jesus Christ! Like, we just played V Spot, and his new rig is touching the lights on the ceiling. We're like, oh, dude.
He's taller than me.
But we wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, that's just Patisms, It's perfect.
I
But
like to physically. Everyone can feel the song, in your chest.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I feel it. I'm right next to it. It's fantastic.
How we like it.
But one of the reasons because I wrote a lot of the more like complex guitar work, but the thing is that's because I came into these guys so late into the writing process, but not too late to incorporate them on some really cool shit. Like one of there's two songs that stand out specifically, and I think about him anytime I hear them, because like there's a very prominent guitar solo on the title track. That was all him. Like he wrote it, and it was one of those things where I found a chord I liked, and then we were sitting together and we arranged the song. I was like, I really like where this is going, but I couldn't really figure out the ending. I was like, I don't know what this needs. I was like, you want to give it a crack? You want to try it? And he's like, yeah.
3 a.m. and I had one eye open.
That's always when the best ideas happen.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Like, I think you can remember. I was like,
Listen, the first step to any successful cult is sleep deprivation, okay? I got my shit under wraps here. But what's it called? Cults are bad. That's a joke. But what's it called? Yeah, we were sitting on his couch, and I was like, dude, I got nothing. Just rip over this. Just don't worry about if it's wrong or right notes. Just find the feeling. We'll figure out where the placement's gonna go after. And in like 5 minutes, he just ripped this perfect solo. Like, it's perfect for the song. It works so well. And I cannot wait for people to hear it, man. Like, 1,000%. I'm proud of all the stuff that I've written by myself, obviously. You know, whenever you do something that you can show people as hey, I made this, there's pride behind it. I am way more proud of what we've accomplished as a writing team than the solo shit, honestly, because every time I hear it, it's like, go ahead.
Did you have any chance to talk about like your different like experiences writing for 1031 compared to Eclipse?
Yes.
As like you didn't have to play these parts.
Yes, I was just getting there.
Yeah.
So the definitive change in the guitar sound was because going back to like the cover band stuff with my dad, I was so used to the mentality of like, if I can't play this as a 3-piece, I should not play it, because you should always be able to play and sing. You should always be able to function. And it took me a really long time to move away from that. So I started, again, I credit Ryan actually for that. He's like, just fucking find people to write it, or to play it, you know? He's like, just find someone that can play the shit, and then write whatever you want. You're limiting yourself on a dumb mentality. Don't do that, you know? And then I really started trying to focus more on like leads and stuff, and there's no longer the kind of 4-chord jam thing going on. Don't get me wrong, I know there's some complexity like layered in some interesting spots on 1031, but it really is a different stylistic change with like how the guitar is written, because I know I don't have to worry about singing and playing all of it and keeping it in sync. That's his job now, you know? Yeah. You're welcome.
I pretty much had to change most of my playing style to match you on 1031, and then when we got the new album and you're like, all right, help me with these parts, especially on one really heavy song on the album.
I'm sorry. I meant to bring that up. Well, easily my favorite thing that happened on the new album is he came up with something and he texted it to me in a voice memo.
Yeah.
Don't forget where you're going, because it's going to be 10 seconds. Well,
it'll be back. Just keep going.
It's the angry as fuck song, you know? It's that one that you were going to go to, because I know exactly.
Oh, no, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he texts me and he's like, yo, I recorded this bass line. And I was like, all right, I think it's a little busy to start, but, you know. And then that same week he was like, yo, I have this guitar riff I've been dying to like throw into a song. And I was like, all right, there's something going on here. And then I stitched it together, wrote the drum track for it, and I was like, give me parts. Let's write a song, and I'll use your guys' parts and figure out how to kind of just weave them together. It is so kick-ass. It is one of my favorite pieces of music, and it's because it's like, it feels finally like the band, not just, oh, I was in a studio and I did all this shit. Feels like we got together and got to write something together. It's fucking magic, dude.
I remember when we recorded that first initial demo, we were at my parents' house because I was living with them at the time. And we just got that done so fast. You were like, oh, and that was just like the first rendition. It wasn't too far off from where it is, honestly. But like, obviously we had to like cut things down to like match the faster part, the part that kills you every time.
Which, by the way, he fucked himself on that one.
Yeah,
he wrote the entire tail end of the song.
You know?
Yeah.
This one's for Eric Nebraska. I feel like he just wanted to torture me a little bit in the studio, because I'm sitting there with the guitar and it's just, I'm not going to spoil too much, but it's a very, very intense tremolo part.
Yeah.
Very endurance based.
Yeah, and it's long.
Yeah.
So, I recorded it, and like there was no break, because like a millisecond of something he didn't like, and he's just like, again.
Yeah.
Again.
Which, thank God, because it shows, man.
I think it was like take like 43,002.
Yeah.
Finally, I can't feel my arm anymore. And then he's like, okay, do you want to do this com part at the end? I'm like, I need a minute.
Yeah. But it was really cool to see all of our different ideas come together in a song that was genuinely like written by all of us. That's something I never got to experience before, and it's so cool.
And it's kick ass.
It does kick fucking ass, dude. It's so much fun. But
I do want to bring something up since Brian said he had to change his playing style.
Yeah.
I think that's why the first album, which I think you brought this up a little bit, wondering how the new lineup incorporated with his playing style, Pat's playing style. That's why live 1031 has a different feel than on the album.
Yeah.
it definitely does.
It's a little heavier.
Plus the tone of the bass, the tone of the guitars are
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, I
That's what
remember.
really brings it together. And,
That part's just because Pat and I are nerds.
Oh, yeah.
And we're just constantly messing with stuff.
Well, the bass was
nerds.
also completely different because I mean, like Ilya was a fretless player.
Yeah,
And-
he did some crazy shit.
Yeah, and like so, I basically had to like refigure out like some things like kind of just off a ear. I had him to like help like relearn some of it, but there were some things where it was like Ilya was playing in like drop B, I'm playing in 5-string B standard. So the first album I just had to like make do with what I had versus Eclipse where it's just I have free reign. And I mean, yeah, a lot of the time as bass, I kind of just follow like the rhythm and I just kind of like do like a lot of simpler stuff. But you know, the parts where the bass can breathe, you've heard, I feel like it really shines.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, specifically on, like I said, I don't mind going track by track and giving a little bit of information. But
All right, well, let's get into Stinger. You guys are wearing the shirt.
hell yeah,
There we
They
go.
plug the shirts.
plugged the new design
Except
a
for
little
it,
bit.
yeah.
Butter shit!
I was left out of this plan. I apologize.
It wasn't planned.
It was the last minute.
Oh, it
Not
wasn't?
planned. No.
That's
Everybody just wanted
crazy.
to wear the shirt today.
Yeah.
So obviously this was an important track because you guys released it as a single, but it also has its own shirt on itself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we have something we're trying to do. It's not off the ground just yet, but each song eventually should have its own shirt, hoodie, beanie, whatever. It should have its own design.
Okay.
And yeah, some of them are really, really cool. But yeah, Stinger was an interesting one, and I that was the first one that I kind of showed everybody because I didn't have these guys in my corner when that came out, you know? So I was like, listen, this is the vibe, and I showed them 1031. This is where I want to go. And that was also, I think, picked up really well. I think they did a great job with capturing the different pieces of that. But my goal with Stinger as a song, when I wrote it, because it comes in with like a Western, like cowboy guitar thing, I wanted it to be like, where the fuck is this going? Because, you know, you got this like twangy little solo and then it's just drop G. Like, fuck you, you know? And it's like...
Yeah.
And,
That hit on any kind of like quality stereo, it's like literally just getting hit by a train.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, I fucking love 7 strings, man. They're so cool. When I found my girlfriend bought me a 7-string guitar, and it forever just changed how I think about writing shit. It's so much fun. But yeah, so Stinger's the first song on the album.
Yep.
And like I said, it kind of introduces you. I don't know who's picked up on this yet from the live performances, but there's actually 2 voices in it, like character voice. There's the first character that you meet, and fuck it, you know, if we're gonna
song's
talk
out.
about it, yeah,
The song is out.
Well, this song's already out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
go
so-
for it.
it's the context
Why don't
in
you-
the rest of them.
Why don't you just explain it like you did when we played the Ritz?
All right, so like, yeah, it's
You gave the
Not-
shorthand version of the crap.
No.
it's about fucking a vampire. Like it's which the theme of the
that
album.
might have to do with the design a little bit.
Yeah, just
Okay.
a little
Yeah,
bit, yeah. But it's the whole theme of the album is vampires, you know. But
Edgy.
the first character that is introduced is through the lyrics. Grave robber with an appetite, time to dance with the devil in the pale moonlight, right? And you meet this character who's just a very evil, wicked person, right? And they accidentally dig up a vampire, and she kills them, but she likes the fact that this person's fucked up. I was thinking of like the Addams Family, right? Where it's like, the more macabre, the better. Like, so they kind of play off of each other, but the first clean part of the sun begins to die as she crawls into this endless shadow is supposed to be her speaking to him, and then she turns him, and the whole rest of the album follows them kind of falling for each other in this really weird, fucked up way. And then it shows you like the different stages of their life together and like where it ends up. It addresses the idea of immortality and like, yeah.
A little 89 Batman reference in there.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, dude. If we had, I mean, I guess we do have time. If you listen carefully enough, I can't wait for the lyric booklet to come out with the CD. I am nothing but a nerdy quip machine, dude.
Yes.
There are. I quote Obi-Wan in our heaviest song. I'm not gonna ruin where. It'll be a little scavenger hunt for her. But yeah.
And like every other day.
Oh yeah. Every other second. Every other 5 minutes, I'm saying something. But yeah. There's the Jack Nicholson line, "Dance with the Devil in the Pale Moonlight."
I love the one in Watch Me. I love that one. That's not from like Batman, but you know what I'm talking about. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, we got The Circle up next, and that one is also available now, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Featuring our boy Eric Abyss.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. That song was awesome.
Am I starting?
You
this
can.
to talk about?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can, buddy.
Sure. So, in the story of the album, right? The Circle kind of takes place as like the grave robber was bitten, and he is in the process of dying. He is going through the emotion, all the pain in this. I don't know how.
He's feeling it course through him, and like he's understanding that immortality is right around the corner, but he's like, fuck, this sucks. Which again, it's interesting though, because that's pretty much where that ends, you know, as far as the vampire side of things. But when I came up with the theme for that song and the idea behind that, again, it was a garage band idea. I don't know why I was so fixated on the things I was at that time. I was definitely going through a lot. And I was just thinking about mortality and immortality and, you know, the questions everybody asks about God and the afterlife and where do we go, what happens to us. But the initial thought, and it fits the theme, so it goes well with the concept thing, but the initial thought was a creature, and it's never specified if it's a human or if it's a dog or what, but it knows it is on its way out. It's dying, and it's suffering. It's in pain, and it kind of just lays down and it looks at the world around it, and it grows envious because it realizes that nature does not feel pain. Like the trees and the leaves that fall off of them, the blades of grass, they change and regrow and die. There's this constant cycle that they go through, and it's not only effortless, like that's just what they do, but it's painless and it's beautiful. You know, it's something you can look at, and it's interesting. So many people think of death as this really dark, gruesome thing, but if you look at the world around you and you look in the less obvious spots, I mean, nature's in front of our face all the time, and it's like, it's one of the most beautiful things ever to watch the seasons change. And it starts to grow envious that in its decay, it is not graceful. It is not painless. There is no dance for it anymore. But as the song goes through the lyrics and it starts to change its thought process, once it passes away, it realized through decay, through feeding the earth, and through breaking down into different, places, and coming back through the air, through fertilization, and, just the natural life cycle, becoming a part of that circle, which is where you get the name from, it realizes that its own life was materialized of those things anyway, and that it's always been a constant loop, and reincarnation has been in front of its face the entirety of its life, and it just embraces the idea of it was always immortal, death was always an illusion, and there really is no such thing as death, and that's what the circle is about. But vampires and shit.
Yeah.
I just know it's a song where I do the tappy part,
Yeah.
and I don't count.
Yeah, the timing on the ending of that is a bitch.
I remember trying to all sit down and get that song locked in, and it turned down to everybody on volume 2, just sitting in this random circle with him going, "Nope, try again."
Yeah.
"Nope, try again." We were there for an hour and a half.
Because it starts off in 4/4 with that industrial beat, and then it goes into after the 5 stops at the last chorus, it goes into a waltz. And then after the waltz, it goes to 6/11. And counting that, if you fall off for a second, you're just fucked.
Yeah, you're done. There's no recovery.
Yeah. I think we've recovered pretty well a couple times.
You know what the worst one was?
Oh.
It wasn't even on purpose, and it wasn't something I can control. It was right after we got rained out at the NEPA Scene Podcast. We go back out on stage, and we're like, all right, we'll play the circle. So we play it, and I don't know if you remember, but I went up to the front for the tapping part, and when I went to step back, I had my amps in cabs that day, and so I had my pedal board with an extension cord just in the side of it. Forgot it was behind me, and took a step and tripped over it. Almost went down, but in the meantime, my ankle caught the cord and just unplugged my whole rig. So I'm just standing there like, all right.
I'm doing like when I take guillotine on clean.
I forgot about that.
You're tapping me on the shoulder. I'm like, why?
He still brings
You're
this
like,
up.
Dirty channel. Oh, that probably sounded great.
Yeah, dude, that was funny as fuck.
You call this what? Technical difficulties, the band?
We are,
Oh my!
we are.
If there's a sound person watching this, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, that,
And if you don't know why, you'll see.
Yeah.
no, I was so mortified when you guys told me. Yeah, when we get rained out, everyone heard you over the speakers through the mics, just like fuck, god damn it. God.
Oh yeah, when you got strapped under the torch.
Yeah, I was so upset. I was like, of course, we get rained on.
And the one mic just hits the stage and is on it's super hot because it's my vocal mic, and you just see this little shape scouring underneath this hard, trying to pick up equipment as it is pissing rain.
Yeah.
And you just hear out of the front, "Fuck shit, damn it, oh my god!" Yeah, it's so funny.
I think I was busy doing the same thing because my tent, because all of the dirt had turned to mud.
Yeah.
So even though I had staked my tent in
It's
there,
going everywhere.
It just picked it right up.
Yeah.
So the tent just flew several times. If Slapjaw was not right next to me,
Yeah.
it would have just been gone. I would have just
We lost our
called it a
tent, too.
loss.
Yeah.
We actually forgot steaks that morning. So we ran to Lowe's for it. And
While they're gone.
Jen and Steph were there watching the tent. And I get a phone call, "Tattoo, like your tent's on the other side of the football field." I'm like, did Jenny still get it?
Yeah. Dude, that was a hell of a show.
It was
fun.
What a hell of a day.
Yeah, all day.
Everyone had their technical setbacks. That
Right.
was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know, even with all the technical setbacks and some of the
One of my favorite shows we played.
Yeah, and I mean, just as a whole, if you don't have a mistake on stage, you don't have some kind of technical difficulty, it's not live music. It's just you're listening to a recording, which
I agree completely.
you need to have a little bit of those imperfections in every performance, and I tell you that all the time. Even if you're like, "Hey, you messed that up," I'm like, "Live music, it happens. We're just gonna keep plugging forward." That's kind of part of the fun of it, though, is just to be able to watch it back and be like, "Yeah, I messed that up," and then just laugh about it and then try to fix it next time.
Well, with technology being what it is, we're so close to a point where we're just going to see essentially robots on stage. It's just going to be people fake playing to a laptop in the background that's just playing everything for you.
Yeah.
And there's already bands that are doing it with. There's some bands doing it with their fucking vocals now. You know, they're not even doing live vocals, or they're using layers and things to kind of cover up. Maybe they can't sing quite like they used to.
Yeah.
So they're trying to cover that up by adding some layers in the background that are playing at the same time that they are singing. It's tough. But I just personally, as a music fan, you've completely lost my interest if you're doing that shit. Like, I want to hear the band play, and if there's mistakes and stuff in there, that's fine. Like, I'm very cool with that.
And that's the thing, like, we're very open about the fact that we do use tracks and stuff, but we have that fine mix.
There's a mix. Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
like,
there's a big difference there between
Our
people
tracks
who
are-
are just
Our tracks are very low, and it's more designed to thicken the sound.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
primary
like-
guitar that you're
like,
hearing,
there's no leads.
I mean, there's very few
yeah.
bands today that aren't doing that. To make
Yeah.
that clear to everybody, too. Like, the bands that you all love that you're seeing, especially in a large setting, like an arena or a stadium or things like that.
Absolutely.
There's no way they're not using that stuff, because otherwise you're not going to even hear it out there.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's a lot of sound limitations that you're also working around. I'm sure you can speak to a lot of the technical end of things, but like, so I mean, I don't mean that aspect of it. I just mean
we
the
didn't
point
take it
where
that way.
They're playing it. Their guitar's unplugged and they're just kind of noodling.
it's strictly used to just thicken the sound up a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's actually at a lower volume than the rest of the band. So, like, if I stop playing, you're gonna know, like the part of Stinger, where I try to get everybody to clap. I can't play and make people clap, you know. But you can actually hear at that moment where that track is lower, and it's part of the show. It allows me a minute as a guitar player, Pat as a bass player, to engage with the crowd.
Yeah.
But with that being said,
It's all about the show.
the leads are removed. So if there's a guitar solo coming up, there's a good chance that I'm probably gonna mess it up. Like, you're gonna hear that. It's not gonna be cookie cutter every time.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I was tough on you in the beginning about it, because I was like, I want the floor wedge screaming at me. I don't want any in-ears. I don't want any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Now I kind of swear by the in-ears. It's just the way everything's going now.
The in-ears were an excellent
Yeah.
piece of equipment when you had it.
Hold on,
And
wait
it
a
was-
second, guys.
Yeah, you can pat yourself on.
And it was a lot of trial and error, just finding the right combination. Well, and we're still having some issues. You know, we just figured out like an issue, and like I said, that solution for our last show at the V Spot, phenomenal. That was fantastic.
Oh, dude, yeah, that was
shout out Justin from Traverse for that one. Thank you.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome, man. But yeah, like it's a process getting that up and running correctly and getting it to translate the way you want it to live. You know. Because you don't want to be labeled as a band that fakes it, because we fucking don't, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we bleed for this shit. And it's like, but everything we do, even down to like taking hours at a time, sitting with him while he's doing his effects on his pedal board and stuff, like, we meticulously focus on detail. Every single thing you see on stage is meant to add some sort of theatrical call and response between us and the crowd, you know? And also, because I just want to say, like, this is definitely the elitist in me popping out a little bit. I fucking hate when people are like, oh, if you play with tracks, you're not a real band. Or, like, if you play with tracks, like, you know, it's... Do you know how fucking difficult it is to stay right on the click every fucking time? Like, I feel like everybody who says that has never played to a click. It is tough. It is really tough.
It's hard to go back to.
Yeah.
Because the one time you and I were jamming and we were just playing the circle, which we play live every time we play. Got to the tapping part, fall off, try again, fall off, try again. Put the in-ears in, dead on. I have the click in my ear. I don't need to know where he's at. I can hear my tempo in my ear, and I'm good.
Not to mention, it's just built-in hearing protection. Like,
Yeah,
unless you use it like I do, then it's just tinnitus. That's exactly
you know what?
Tinnitus.
Actually, you know what's really funny? You brought up the makeup, and you were like, has the reception to that been more positive or negative? I've caught more shit for using in-ears
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
than for the makeup, and it is definitely from a certain demographic.
Ah, okay.
But I'll let the speculation go crazy with that one.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
You know what mainstream artist
Hair bands.
Well, not, yeah, but anyway, what mainstream artist now isn't using in-ear monitors? What mainstream artist, and I'm sure there are a few, but you look at like some of the biggest bands out there, like I know like Slipknot, they're not a track band, but they still use in-ear monitoring. Mm-hmm. They also use floor wedges as well.
They do use tracks. They are pumped forward though through fucking Sid.
Yeah.
You know, they've been open about that. That's the thing, though. It's not like anybody's pretending that they're not using these fucking tracks. Like,
Right.
I mean, all of the, even especially at the bigger events, like you see the flames shoot up and the timed lights and everything. Like, of course they're using fucking tracks. Like, how else do you think that shit happens?
It's utilization.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, certain things, like I said, it makes life easier. Like we were talking about starting to use new programs to get some of the patch changes for us on stage.
Trying
so
to, like, switch
we can
over
go
to
out and
Logic.
party with everybody and not have to worry about tap dancing. Like that's something that's big for us because then we can enjoy some of our time on stage too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of our stuff, especially with 1031 stuff, I don't know what you were thinking. You just loved your pedal board or whatever, but
did. Well,
you're just back and forth.
Well,
the
keep in
whole
mind.
time.
Well, keep in mind. I was still wired, and I was playing and singing all the material. So
you really couldn't move.
I couldn't move anyway. So tap dancing for me wasn't that hard. It was right in front of me.
I think we're gonna get you one of those bedazzled little mics to put on.
You can go fuck yourself. Actually, that could look kind of cute. I would do that. Hell yeah. But go for a little Britney Spears thing. You know? Fucking, yeah.
All right. Well, we got a few more tracks we got to get through.
Yeah. Sorry.
And then we got to
focus here.
we have lots of comments too. So that's always a good thing.
Hell yeah.
Alrighty.
So we want to make sure that we get to those. So the more stuff that's maybe in the form of a question that we can answer is probably better in terms of you people who are commenting. So we have Bitchcraft is the middle of the album here.
It's literally just a song about hating people who are fucking fake. Like, have your back one moment and then just stab the knife in it the next. And luckily, I don't know too many of those people. You know, I haven't had that experience too much. But just like anything, you know, it's the loud, annoying events that happen that make it feel sometimes like it's the whole fucking world that's like that. And that song was written to kind of just get that toxicity and that really annoyed feeling out.
Yeah, the first time you had me read those, I just literally got done reading. I just looked at them. I'm just like, what the fuck? Are you okay?
Yeah. That's probably like the least deep song, though, honestly. Like, it's anger.
I mean, every good metal album has got to have at least one.
Yeah.
I feel like, anyway.
Yeah, and I definitely
If not a
wanted
couple.
I wanted to showcase the new. So I always used to use Fry Screaming. I didn't really do False Chord on the first album, and when I was writing that, I was like, I think I should throw some more vocal techniques on this. That was the one I got to experiment a little bit more, and it's fun, but it's
I'm just excited for the reactions on that one because the vocals, when you hear the intro, are not what you would normally think you're about to hear. And I'm going to leave it there. It's cool.
My favorite part is the breakdown, dude. That breakdown is fucking... It's nasty.
I can't wait to share it.
I don't know how it is for you, but for me, it's just straight, like, caveman breakdown.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, it's fun. It is fun. It's just, like...
Awesome.
Yeah, I intend when we start playing that out live, just being out front and just, like... Maybe doing something like what I do with the circle, where I just try and, like, headbang to, like, the people... And I want people to do that.
We're going to be lightheaded. With the amount of headbanging on this whole album, we're going to all be lightheaded by the end of the set.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun song.
And then we have Watch Me Disappear.
That's a heavy one for me. I was just going to say really quick back on Bitchcraft, in reference to the story and where things are at. That's supposed to be, it's never really specified, but that's one of those two characters, the vampires, going and getting revenge on somebody. And then Watch Me Disappear, it kind of transitions into them thinking about, like, I have all this power, but, like, at what cost? You know? So that's the vampire side of it. That's the theme for that.
Yeah.
But Watch Me Disappear is a really... I don't mean, like, chugga-chugga heavy song. It's got its moments, but it's a heavy song subject matter for me because I want to think about how I could say this just to give anybody time to like log off of the live or whatever. Just issue a slight trigger warning on this shit. It does discuss body dysmorphia, gender dysphoria. There's definitely, I'm not going to get too heavy into it, but there's definitely themes of assault in there. It delves into a very private part of my personal history that is very difficult to talk about, but also it's equally important. So, I mean, the warning's been issued. I don't mind delving into that one. I think the lyrics are quite important, honestly. But it's just about feeling like you have this beautiful thing, which is your soul, trapped inside something that you feel disgusted by. It feels like this flower that is encased in dirt and just can't grow. It's about having this love you have for yourself be muted by so much self-hatred. And the more you try to understand it, the more confusing it gets. And like, it's a tough song to talk about for sure. But like, I want people, of all genders and everything to know, like, that's way more common than people realize. And like, it's okay to talk about it. Like, it's okay to show people that they're not alone in that, because it's one of the hardest things that I think someone can go through. And like, I mean, obviously with how I'm speaking about, like, I've been through it, and it's difficult. It's difficult to find any acceptance for yourself some days. And like, that also heavily ties into the makeup. Like, there's never going to be a day ever where I'm not going to wear exactly what I want to wear when I want to wear it, because I want to be myself 100% of the time, and I will utilize any tool I can find to help me live that way, because everything gets in the way, but yeah, definitely a heavy song,
I appreciate you being open about that.
Yeah, it's taken a long time to realize that I can be, but it's really sad. I mean, I've had so many of my friends, after I've shared that stuff with them, be like, oh yeah, like that happened to me too. And it's like, I don't understand why it's not talked about more, because again, you asked in the beginning, what does drowning Kelly mean? I don't know why it's there. I feel like it's connected, in a way that I don't fully understand myself, but I feel like understanding it is not as important as accepting it. Is like, there is a side of me that is forever changed because of what I lived through. And I feel comfortable in this acceptance that I've built for myself. There's a line in the chorus in there. Actually, the entire bridge is a kind of a perfect explanation for the whole feeling of that song. Drowning Kelly is about not feeling like you can express those things about yourself. It's pushing that side of yourself down because you're scared of how the world will react, or they won't accept you, or they'll see all the flaws magically that you see every time you see yourself, So it's about repressing that vulnerable side of you, and, being open about that is so important. And that's where I started experimenting with like my stage character and like that persona I have. One of my favorite metaphors is in Kill Bill when they're talking about Superman, right? They say he's the most interesting hero because Superman isn't the mask, it's Clark Kent, you know? And it's like this person that goes to work and this person that interacts with others in a normal setting all the time. I really genuinely feel like that is my mask, When I'm up on stage, when I'm painted up and I'm just doing what I love, that's like the most honest version of me I feel like there is, And that's where I don't have to drown those things out. I don't feel like I need to hide anymore, you know? And that's why so many people ask about like the whole stage fright thing. And it's like, it's just something I don't understand that much. Like, because that's what I look forward to every day. That's my only place to like be myself. Obviously, that's changed over the years. You know, I feel a lot more comfortable just being myself around people. And, but that is such a hard journey. And like, I want to show people who are going through that they'll be okay. And like, you can find love for yourself. You just have to search for it. But, the bridge about that song, tangented, is behind this mask I've built, stitched out of flesh and guilt, pain is the only catharsis that's real. And it's like, there's that constant disconnect from the characters we play every day and who we are in our private moments. And I feel like heavy metal for me and like writing this type of music, it's obviously aggressive. Like, I'm not going to be that guy that stands there and it's like, oh yeah, no, it's screaming, but it's not like that. No, it fucking is. And it sounds that way for a reason. You know, people enjoy this music because that artistic representation of pain is so cathartic and you can do so much with it. And it has saved my life in so many different ways. And it's like, that is the most powerful and important thing I've ever come across in my life. And it's helped me get over some unbelievably difficult times in my life. And that's something, at the end of the day, the whole reason that I started this band is to help people get through those things, you know? And if it weren't for them, I would have given up on this a long time ago. So, you know, I owe all of that strength and all of that commitment to sharing these deeply personal parts of myself with people. I give them most of the credit for that, you know? So, yeah.
Anything you want to add? I don't want to step on any toes.
Nope.
Okay. As you know, as a young guy growing up in the metal scene a few decades ago too, it's been interesting because to me, I always saw the draw for that type of music was like I was the weird kid with no friends that you know had to find the stuff on my own, and I went to shows by myself, but you know found this really great community of people who all were kind of going through the same sort of stuff. And it's been interesting over time to see a lot of that stuff has gone mainstream now to the point where it's like now I'm at a show and it's like that's the guy that used to pick on me for liking this music.
Yeah.
And he's here at this show, and that's weird to me. And I want to be like, well, everybody's welcome. Everybody should feel welcome, and everybody should be, you know, like. But is he seeing it the same way? Is he looking at me like, oh, there's that fucking nerd that I picked on?
Yeah.
Or is he seeing it as like, yeah, you know what? I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
We should all be on the same side. We should all be together, you know, like that
I really
sort of
hope
thing.
people take that from it too, because
I hope so too.
The one thing I feel like, unfortunately, is still a big misconception with a lot of this stuff is like, you know, there's that tough guy thing that's always associated
Yes,
because of movies and media for
Sure.
like heavy metal, and it's like,
Yeah.
I have never tried to be that tough guy wearing a dress up on stage. You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
right.
that's not what this is about for me.
Yes,
You know, if
yes.
that's what you take out of it, cool. But, like, I never want to be lumped in with just, like, I'm trying to act scary. Like,
Yeah.
that's not what this is for me.
Right,
You know? But
right.
it is interesting because I see that sometimes, you know?
Yeah. There's definitely there's those tough guys who feel like this is my way to get out aggression on a bunch of nerds or losers or whatever that sort of thing. But I think the majority of these crowds are the people who like grew up kind of looking for something that needed that that reassurance and that sort of thing. So
Yeah.
I think what you're doing there is definitely what I think a majority of the audience is really looking for.
I just hope we succeed with it. And I genuinely feel like we do, because there's been so many people. There's two people actually specifically that come to mind every time I think about it. And when we play Hope or we play Caustic, like these people that follow our bands because they know when they come out to a show, it's the one place that no matter what, like we see them, like the things we talk about, it's for them.
Yeah.
And I think that people do latch onto that. And that makes me like, there's not words that won't fall short of the feeling that fills me with. Like, it's such an amazing feeling to know that when you're trying to reach out to people and show them that they're not going through shit alone, and then you know it works, like, that's just, it's incredible.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, well, we got a couple more. Ave is the way that's said there. I looked at it originally. I'm like, Av?
I think we went
Then I hear
through
the
that.
song. I'm like, Ave. Okay.
Ave, yeah. Yeah. This is where, I mean, fuck it. I'm authentic all the time. I hope Google was correct with the translation, you know. The first time that I heard the word Ave is Ave Maria.
Sure. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
that's
the
where
first
I
thing
got
that comes to mind. Yeah.
Right, and oh Jesus! If anyone religious is watching, I'm so fucking sorry. It's all love, just personal shit. But I wanted to take the idea of like Ave Maria and twist it into something wicked. I mean, everybody thinks of that, and they think of church. They think of farewell songs and sweetness and purity.
The Riddler.
Yeah, that too now. but yeah, no. So I looked up because I got intrigued.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are they actually saying in that song? And when I looked into it, it's saying goodbye, Mother Mary. Ave Maria Ave is a farewell, but it also means hail. So it's a respect, and it is a goodbye. It has a couple meanings, but the word Ave is either hail or goodbye. And I just wanted to... I gotta go back to the first album with Hope, right? I've had so many people come up to me and be like, I really needed to hear that song. And again, this is the beauty of like making shit vague, because you'll hear what you need to hear out of something.
Yeah.
I've had so many people come up to me and be like, I really needed to hear that song. You know, I just repaired my relationship with the Lord. And I'm just like, did you hear the song? Like, that song, even though it's acoustic and heartfelt, is me closing that door. It's I'm done with this. The only strength I need is right here. I don't need that from anywhere else. Ave is, again, like, you know, in the theme with like vampire stuff. It's like, if all the strength I need is right here and there's nothing left, like, I've been through everything, there's nothing you can take from me I haven't already lost. Like, Ave is me thumbing my nose at God. It is a absolute middle finger to the idea that there is a plan to any of this, you know, or that, fuck, I hate when people tell me like, oh, you went through what you went through for a reason. It was to make you stronger. Like, don't fucking appropriate my pain. Don't tell me what I was supposed to learn from my suffering. Like, I don't have any problem with someone who believes in God. I don't. Some of my closest friends, as I said before, are very deeply religious, and I have a lot of respect for them. But it's the people that take the context of, you know, people suffer in front of you so you can be grateful for what you have. Or like, you suffered through these things, or you lost these things because there's a plan, and you were meant to understand that. Like, I have such a fucking animosity toward those people. I cannot stand that bullshit. It drives me nuts. And I had a conversation that went down that path with somebody when I came up with the lyrics for that, and like, it was just me trying to create the most fucking adhesive response to that kind of mentality. And I think I kind of succeeded, guys.
Yeah. I will give one spoiler. If you are looking for aggression, I would just go right there.
It's the heaviest song we've ever written. And actually, that's the one
wrote together.
Yeah, that's the one that you had the bass line for, and then you wrote the tail end of
I will
it.
say, because I know I have some family watching, I had nothing to do with the lyrics.
He's a good boy.
I played guitar on this one.
Yeah.
I don't even know the words. I just do all the things.
I've got an idea.
I picked a few out.
We won't read them out, so there's no spoilers. But do you want to do a live reaction to the lyrics?
No, I've already read them because I did all the pamphlets, so it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be fair.
Because you don't know the lyrics. Hold on, let's. I'm really interested now in this.
Well, while you're pulling that up, excuse me 1 second. We gave a diabetic guy a coffee and a beer before this. So.
Hell yeah!
Hurry up,
Take
'cause
that
I'll be going
pancreas for a
next.
spin, brother.
Already did.
All right,
Feel
here
free
you go.
to take
Don't
another
read them
one
out
too
loud.
if you want.
I'm good, thank you.
I remember, yeah.
Remember, this is your audience reaction camera.
Oh yeah.
One thing I will say about this second album, it really showcases Kelly's vocals.
Thank you.
It goes from one extreme to the next and flawlessly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I mean, let's hope I can pull it off live. We'll find out the 31st.
Yeah, we'll find
Got to
out.
be there though. So, while he's
tickets are
reading
on
through
sale.
these,
Right.
while he's reading through these,
Yeah.
I just wanted to take a minute and actually address the comments section.
Yes.
Is there anything to answer real quick?
Oh yeah, sure. We can.
I'd love to interact
jump
with them
into
a
that
little
stuff.
bit.
Yeah.
Can I just say my favorite one was
Yeah.
from Debbie? Oh, I didn't remember.
Do you want?
What's up, Debbie?
You want to put it up there?
I would have to find it.
Yeah,
but
I was gonna
I'll
say,
think about
it's
it.
my-
She just said she hopes you guys also play 1031 stuff on 1031. So
Good point.
she had a lot of comments, so that she'll be.
So, I'm not going to give away too much, but you have a lot to look forward to, and we have a lot that we hope we can pull off. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be our craziest show yet. Lot of moving pieces, but anybody who has supported the band thus far, if you show up, I guarantee you will not be disappointed, and you will hear what you want to hear. That's all I'm gonna say.
There we go.
I'm gonna sneak out.
I got you. Take that pancreas for a spin. I'm gonna keep on saying that. It's like my favorite. It's my favorite thing.
If it was a no
There's a lot
interruptions
of
thing.
diabetes in the room.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'll just read some real fast, like rapid fire, so we get through them. A lot of the main ones. Haley Undead on YouTube says, "I can't wait for new music." Let's see. Mr. Gus the Savage.
What's up, Gus? My
Hey, I
boy.
know these guys. I hope to see you at the Ritz this weekend for my birthday celebration. A very, very clever way to plug your show there.
Fuck yeah.
All right,
Go check him out. He's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, you're missing out if you don't check us out.
Yeah.
Let's see. Stephanie Marie says, "Hey, it's my boyfriend."
Hey, she's watching.
There you go. What's up, Steph?
Let's see. Debbie says, 3 days grace. Slipknot, Avenged Sevenfold, Bullet for My Valentine, Heart equals Forever. So
Hell yeah.
I'd say there's a lot of
music.
same influences there that you guys have. Let's see. Down right now.
Just talking about references, I completely forgot. The circle at the ending. That's a Star Wars quote too.
Oh yeah.
I'll give away one little Easter egg. At the ending of the circle, there is a bass drop. You know, the circle is now complete. It's Darth Vader quote.
Oh,
But also, when it goes, the circle is now complete. The bass drop right there is a saber igniting.
Oh,
If you listen really carefully, you
Okay.
can hear it in there. Yeah.
There's a couple other Easter eggs, but leave them to.
oh! I
determination.
can't wait. I
The
cannot
one
wait for
is
them to
just
hear about the other
legendary.
one.
I don't think, honestly, we'll ever. I know exactly what he's talking about. I
Yes.
don't think we're ever gonna let it see the light of day. We'll just gaslight the fans. I'll be like,
No,
hey,
it's
that
there.
one part
It is clearly there.
That one part in that song
My
is
turn.
what I think happening. Is it happening? We're gonna be like, nah, you're acting crazy right now.
No, it's literally one of those things. It's like right under your nose, but unless somebody points it out to you, because I've heard just the instrumental tracks after the studio countless times.
It's so easy to miss.
And until you said something to me, I didn't notice it, but now I can't unhear it.
I know, it's great. And Eric Nabrowski, when we were recording it, he's like, I'll do my best impersonation of him. He's like, so, we keeping that or like, and I'm just like, fuck yeah, we're keeping it. It's so stupid. It's not even a cool Easter egg. It's stupid. Like, it's brain rot shit, dude.
It's a little bit of comedic relief if you pick up on it, and it's at like the one time you wouldn't expect it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, that's fair.
Once we're
I know, man, dude.
I was gonna say once we're off the air, we can show Rich.
Oh, absolutely. You'll be blessed with knowing exactly what Easter egg it is. It's great.
Excellent. That's
Making me hungry.
That's the stuff I live for.
Don't give too much.
Mills says these guys are holding it down right now. John and Kelly fucking rocks. We love you guys.
Hell yeah, Mills.
He also
Thank you,
says
buddy.
Thanks,
Kelly King is a really inspirational and compassionate person.
Thank you. I
Let's
try.
see.
That means a lot.
Debbie
Every time I
said,
hear it, I really
She
appreciate
loves your
that.
singing. Let's see. Mills also mentioned it's really special when a mother supports their children's dream with music. Those are the most loving and caring ones. Yeah, I mean the parents being behind you is just so important.
Yeah. I'm not sure if she's in the live, but Stephanie Ann, it's my mom. I fucking love my mom. She's one of the coolest human beings ever.
Let's see. Scrunculus. Oh, that's an interesting one. See, on YouTube it goes by their YouTube username, and on Facebook it obviously goes by their whatever their name is. It says, "Still have the first album CD you gave me. Proud of you, dude."
Hell yeah! Thank you very much, man.
And let's see.
I know that username.
I know that's all
It's
you.
gonna drive me. That's gonna light my brain on fire.
And
Oh wait, no, Scrunculus. That's Steve from V Spot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hell yeah. Sup, dude? Hell yeah.
Well said. Ginger is incredible. Also, Whitechapel's an old favorite. Yeah, Ginger played the Irish Wolf Pub in Scranton once.
What? When the fuck was that?
Yeah, like
I remember when they were still a thing.
right before they were like. Right before they blew up, like blew up, and I remember the owner of the place, guy was this mix of like absolutely great and completely crazy.
Yeah.
And
I
for
remember him.
some reason, somebody convinced him that it would be worth it to spend the money to have them there, and then like barely anyone showed up. Yeah,
Ouch.
it was crazy though.
I'm sure he was
right
not
after
happy.
that was when like everybody was picking up on like this. That what a great band they were. Yeah, so they played downtown Scranton in a little shithole bar once that doesn't even exist anymore.
Awesome. I remember the Irish Wolf Pub, man. I've got some stories.
I was gonna say
I
I've
bet.
personally been there.
I think everybody has at least one or two of those.
Those
Quite a
who
few
left
myself.
alive. Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
That place was crazy. Yeah, those guys were crazy.
Let's see. What was it?
Oh yeah.
Bass stack taller than half the band.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Devin.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Got to throw some comments in.
What's up, brother?
Hey,
Love you.
Hey, man. I'm very particular.
Unfortunately, our drummer had to work today, so couldn't grace his presence here.
Fucking employed loser.
Will says the most underrated drummer.
Hell yeah.
Love Will as well.
Stop
I
torturing
think we touched on this,
ASMR.
but
I'll
mention it.
ASMR.
She knows. She got some.
Yeah, there you go.
He does that at practice. We just have to
Right into
dial
the
him
mic.
back
right.
in a little bit. That's all.
Oh wait.
Pat, you were
No,
like finger
no.
drumming at one point, and I was like, I don't know, is this not you or?
Sorry. I'll keep it on my lid.
Yeah, okay.
Says I'm not even going to try and pronounce the username, but it says, what is John and Kelly's biggest musical influences? We did touch on that, but if they didn't catch it.
Yeah, speed running through them, like Disturbed, Breaking Benjamin, Metallica, Slipknot, you know, and the real big ones like Elephant in the Room ones are Motionless in White and Chevelle. Those, you know, it's like speed running our stuff. I will say, not all of those are like super present on the second album, and we're really interested to see how people respond to that.
Some of the stuff that I put in little Kill Switch vibes in there.
Oh hell yeah, yeah. Well, you're much more into like the metalcore stuff.
I'm a huge Kill Switch Engage Parkway Drive fan.
My buddy Landy, he said he just played to 150 BPM click tonight, and he said Metallica uses in-ears and floor monitors, last I was told.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all the big guys.
Yeah, it's a nice having a mix of like in-ears and stage monitors, so that way you have it in your ear, you have it keeping it on time, and so you can also hear your signal very well and very clear. But the cool thing about the monitors is if like you want to take it out, you can hear the crowd a bit better, you can feel it coming from there and from your cab as well.
We'll put it this way, I mean, I have that little tiny 212 cab on stage.
Yeah.
But if we didn't have in-ear monitors with Pat's new rig, we would all have hearing aids by the time we hit the album release.
The end of the show? Yeah.
It just wouldn't be good.
Well, I remember the one time my pack died like halfway through our show, and I was like, fuck it, old school. I just ripped them out. And by the end of the night, I laid down in my room, and I could just...
Yeah.
I was like, fuck.
That happens to me now. I'll just be driving down the road and I'll go to look out the window and one ear starts ringing, and it's always the one I remember when we first started with the in-ears, I hated them, so I'd only keep one in.
Yep.
I would have the pack on
You're
like
paying for it
max
now, buddy.
volume, and now I have tinnitus from it, so...
Yeah, you max it out, so now they're ringing in both ears
Don't
no
ever
matter
do
what.
that. Use noise canceling, turn it down. Trust me.
Amanda says pit hugs are the best.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing but love in the pit, son.
Let's see. Tom C says, why does that guy have an X on his head?
I don't know, it's kind of just part of the new look. I had to change it up because there's a lot of bands going with the original look, and it was blank over there, so we just threw it there.
Yeah. And also, you know, we
Still kind of tailoring it.
we didn't think that a heart would go as cool.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
But
wouldn't do
make
that
no
again.
mistake, he's our Funshine Bear.
Right here.
Canvas, you might as well use
You're lucky you get this much stuff on my face, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
I will say, though, it's one of them things where it kind of feels nice to just step away from the normal.
Dude,
and
it's
just,
so much fucking
This is
fun.
a way to just get away from it and just go out on stage and just forget about everything. It's almost like wearing a mask.
Yeah, man. It's awesome. It's why I started doing it, you know? And then I was like, oh shit, I just think I like doing this all the time. Like, well, time to get black clothes.
Elena says, proud of you guys. And let's see. Will says, me and Jake Battle of Star Wars.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. Yo, I'll catch hands with Battlefront 1v1s any day. I will whoop y'all's ass. I will.
He no-lifes it. He does no-life it.
Yeah. Yeah. I fuck heavy with Battlefront. It's one of my favorite games.
Amanda says, you aren't from Scranton if you don't have an Irish Wolf story. I agree.
Goddamn straight you don't.
I'm from down the other city. I'm from Wilkes-Barre,
Yeah,
so
we're from down the other end.
I wasn't
That's where I
around
grew
when
up.
it was around. I was in Texas.
Brian, I'm gonna be real. If you had a story from there, it probably would have involved you murdering somebody. Like,
honestly, I have a lot of backstage enterprises and Cafe Metropolis.
Ah,
stories.
okay, yes.
That's what I
That's
grew
what
up
I was
with.
going to say.
I remember
Metro,
being like
backstage.
a kid going down there and coming home. My mom be like, "Why is your nose busted open? Just don't
Every
ask
Friday,
questions. Drop me off at the show next weekend."
Every Friday.
Redwood
Backstage
Art
Enterprise.
Space for the very small amount of time.
It was
that
a shipping
thing.
container, but they packed
Yes.
a lot of people and some big acts in there. That was a cool place. I actually missed that place a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot of good little spots like that, and there's still, there's still little spots popping up. You just got to keep a lookout for them.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all the main ones. If I miss anything, feel free to repeat it in the comments that you really want me to shout out. But we want to close out our segment there with Eclipse and Tombstone. So what would you like to say about either of those?
So, Eclipse, that's a fun song. That one is also a slew of funny references. Yeah, that one has a lot of...
This is where you be honest.
All right, yeah, okay. So that has a lot of references to Twilight because the whole vampires thing. I was caught. I was trying to think, what should we name this album? And it started off as a joke. I was like, Imagine, and then I was like, yo.
It started off as a joke between you and Steph at the house.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there with like an acoustic that's like E flat, and he's making these jokes with Steph, and then he just played this like progression of chords, and he's like, wait a second. I'm like, oh no, it's a song.
Yeah. Yep. So I know. I think Eclipse is the second book in the series.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm mildly ashamed that I know that, actually. But
Are you talking
fuck it.
Twilight?
Fuck yeah. 3.
that's the third.
Damn. Okay. All right. You know
I've
what?
still never-
Because it's New Moon.
There we go. Yeah.
I've still never seen any of
Sorry,
it.
it's my cheesy go-to.
No. That's
Cheesy and
No
sad.
shame in that.
honestly.
The books
I'm just happy that someone knows more about it than I do. Honestly, because that was like.
No, you know what I do love about Twilight? It introduced me to Muse. I love that about the first
Fuck
Muse.
yeah,
the
dude.
First movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Supernatural
It had
Black
good
Hole. I
soundtracks.
love that song.
So, without getting overly graphic about that one, the theme with the vampires and everything is, I'll just rifle through everything real quick. 2 detectives find a body. They're like, oh my god, this is so fucked up. Someone's doing really evil shit in our town. We find out there's a grave robber. He digs up this vampire, and she decides that's her new obsession. So she kills him. He starts becoming immortal. That's where you have the circle. And then Bitchcraft is when he exacts his revenge on his enemies from his past life. But then he starts noticing these terrible changes happening and him becoming a monster, and that's where Watch Me Disappear happens. And then after that is Ave, where that, what's happening here turns to resentment of, why are you doing this to me? And that's where he, declares himself like an enemy of God and nature and anything pure. But then, after that, you have Eclipse, and it's him saying, basically, everything sucks, this was not worth it, and, I just want to rest. I want to hibernate. I don't want to be here anymore. So, he has made the decision that he's going to go back to the grave. He's going to sleep forever now. So before he does that, he's going to have one last night with this woman that he loves now, this vampire. So that's them saying goodbye to each other in a very horny way. So enjoy the lyrics on that one.
Yeah.
It's a lot of boner jokes, actually. Yeah.
Jokes aside, though, that even just the instrumentally is one of my favorite songs on the album.
It's beautiful.
It just flows so well.
Yeah.
And that's when I was
It's fun
talking
to play.
before about the guitar solo that I was like, fuck, that is just perfect. It's that song. He wrote the guitar solo at the end of that, and it is fucking gorgeous. The tone of it and just the choice of notes, it's beautiful, man.
I remember joking earlier, you're like, yeah, I read the lyrics to your song. Well, here's your Pornhub solo.
Yeah, there you go.
That's kind of the vibe it gave me when I wrote it.
Yeah. It's definitely got some jokes in there. I mean, there's what's it called? Boner joke number 1 is love has taken shape. That's always great. Yeah.
It's such an interesting way to say it. That's why. It's
Dude, that whole song was like, okay, how fucking poetic can I make this song about clapping ass? Because then at the ending of it too, at the end of every chorus is the sound of our flesh intertwines.
Mac and cheese.
Hey! Let's go! Yeah, so that song's just, it's honestly just nerdy, horny fun. It's funny, but it also is really fucking cool. When we're talking about like it's a mix of heavy and soft, that to me is the definitive, hey, those guys from 1031, that sound you liked, here it is. That totally, you could have put that on 1031 and it would have fit perfectly. It's got a really cool blend of tonality in it. But yeah, so that's the two vampires saying goodbye to each other and saying it's time to rest.
Just don't think about how blood flow and dead people work.
Yeah.
Just ignore the science part of that.
Hey, listen, you know what? One of my favorite quotes ever is from the writer.
You are alive, right?
I understand that. And you know what? For any aspiring writer out there, take this quote to heart because it is so great. The guy who wrote the Doom series, do you know what he said about the story? Because people were like, well, it was at some sort of panel. They were like, well, this doesn't make sense. And I was thinking about this and this contradicts this. He's like, listen, a good story needs to make about as much sense as a good porno. He goes, as long as I'm interested and it gets where it needs to, cool. Exactly. As long as I'm enjoying myself, that's it. That's all that fucking matters. So it's literally just the rule of cool, Vampires and fucking nerd shit. That is the entire album, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then Tombstones is it's emotional for me in a good way. That's probably the most lighthearted song, honestly, because it is saying, like, the lyric in there is, the graveyard calls us home. It's the metaphor of him going and entering the grave again, but also it is him saying, like, well, it's him saying goodbye, but it's also us saying goodbye for now.
Okay.
It's saying, we had a lot of fun doing this. And it's a song to the fans saying, I'll just go through the lyrics. There's not too many of them in that one. Is this the shape that I've taken when nurtured in the dark, left alone here for too long, too far gone, an angry mouth with a broken heart. Just why I write, why I am who I am, but also why we are the way we are. People come out to these shows and they support us and they share love with us, and it's just such a beautiful environment. And like even the bands that we play with, like, I'm genuinely excited to see these people in these bands because it's just so accepting and so awesome to be a part of this amazing thing that the local scene has built, which, by the way, you are a huge part of. I genuinely feel like this is not just me blowing smoke up your ass, because if I didn't think this, I wouldn't say it. I genuinely think you have a super special way of bringing bands together and like giving people a platform to take their art to the next level, where it's like a lot of people have amazing talent and they're not sure how to share it. And like everything I've seen you do with the open mics, the NEPA Scene show, and just everything, man, it is so special. And this area and all of the artists from Scranton are so blessed to have someone like you pushing that. It's
Thank you.
Truly, it's admirable, and it is something I'm seriously grateful for. But yeah,
I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
We appreciate you, and I know I speak for like all the bands in the area. Like, they all feel the same, dude, and it's fucking sick.
Most of them. There's a couple who are like, I don't know about that guy, but for the most part, yeah, everybody's.
It's Motley Crue.
Everybody's pretty cool. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
My photographer Jason has a famous story about his disagreement with the management of Motley Crue.
Oh.
I would let him tell that story. He's not here, unfortunately, but
I will be waiting.
Yeah,
very impatient.
That's a very funny one. Yes.
Yeah. But it's just, the whole song is about, we are what we are, and we love what this is. We love this music. We love the fans. We love everybody that comes out to share these experiences with us. And it's us saying, like, thank you for listening, and we're going home for a while. We're gonna go rest. Because, my God, making this album, we're fucking exhausted.
Yeah, I bet.
And
there's always that one trip after every show that needs to go back in the tradition, though.
Yeah.
I can't really say on here where, because I'm sure people would try to crash, but it's kind of like the
You know?
time. You know what? Let's do it anyway, because it'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. We've got.
But-
I know we've been here a while. We got one more story for you though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one? Oh, is this about
There's a couple
the?
different places.
Is this about the parking lot with the tricycle?
This cereal table.
Oh! Sorry.
We gotta tell the story, man. Hold on. You know what?
Yeah, you might want to crack open another one for that.
Yeah.
I don't know. The
Cheers.
person that gave it its name might be watching this right now.
I doubt it.
No.
If he even has a fucking phone, dog. I don't know how that man was alive. I'm just being honest, dude. It's not like anybody who has been or in and around Northeast PA has not seen this shit. First of all, location is a Sheets. Okay, so we're just
Okay.
gonna start there.
Yeah.
We love Sheets.
Yeah.
Love Sheets so much.
We do.
I mean,
Sheets Goblin.
I think all bands love Sheets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your favorite thing to get from a Sheets?
Ooh.
Chili dog.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Respectable. Respectable.
That is a solid choice. Everyone in the comments, please drop your favorite Sheets order.
Yes.
What's your like 3 a.m. run? But I was on the quesadillas for a while, and then I just wanted to die.
I'm real specific. The Big Moz burger, but you get rid of that like cheap, crappy marinara sauce and jalapeno ranch it.
Oh,
Yeah, dude.
Ungodly good.
Yeah.
You got a special occasion it, but that breakfast pizza, I love that
Yeah,
thing.
that-
that is just the eggs, the bacon, the sausage. Yeah.
Wow, that's fucking delicious.
Yeah, it's neutral. That is good stuff.
No, New Trail is always great, but I have not tried that flavor. It's like grape. It's good. Fantastic. Anyway, so cereal table.
Yes.
We're like dead tired, and it had
Right
to be
after the
fucking late.
caustic shoot, wasn't it?
Yeah, we filmed like this mini thing, totally tailored to like the YouTube Reels, TikToks, like that format. Because we didn't have any of them. We're like, let's make something. So we did like a, basement shoot. We just made these quick reels, and it's like 11:30, and we're like, we need some fucking food before we go home and call it a night. We need to get something in our bodies because we're like dead. So Sheets, because every single time it's Sheets,
It was
so
right by the old practice space.
yeah, Sheets goblins, So we go up there, and I'm like, dude, I can't wait for this food. Like I'm so ready for this. And Pat's like, yeah, man, me too. Now, I have to preface, he is like the chillest person ever. Like, I feel like there could be the worst problems going on right next to him 5 feet away, and the vibe's not going to be upset. He's just going to be a vibe. Well, I'm like, hey man, I just ordered, but I gotta piss super bad. Like, can you hold on to my order? I'm gonna go take a leak, and when I come back out, I'll grab it if they call it. He's like, yeah, sure. I come back out, and I just see him, like, leaned up against the, like, snack area right before the checkout, and he's got his arms folded, and he's just like, I don't like the way this guy looks. And I'm like, who? And he's like, this guy over here. And I'm like, where? He's like, over at the table, dude.
Well, there was a weird vibe about him. This guy looked very
Menacing?
not menacing, but he looked a
fucking
bit
menacing.
rough. Like this dude, he had a backpack. He had these like ripped up cargo pants, and he had a very dirty sweater. And like not sweater, but just some sort of
It was a
The
hoodie.
thing, yeah,
It was a hoodie.
It was a
Yeah, it was a
hoodie.
hoodie. It was
There was
a
a
hoodie.
fucking gray hoodie that looked like he rolled around in a trail.
Maybe he walked through the woods to actually get to this location. Which I mean, fine. You don't have a car. You want to get the sheets. Whatever. Right? But he's sitting there at the table, just like
He's like this, like looking down at the table, like just staring
Yeah.
staring
He
at
looked
nothing
exhausted,
insanely.
Okay.
And I just look over and I'm like, whoa, yeah, like, you think he's on something? Like, he definitely looks a little out of it.
This
He's
is where
like,
the story gets good.
oh, we're just getting started.
So- May I?
Yes, you may.
So I watched this man proceed to he bought maybe like a quart, maybe a gallon of milk at Sheetz.
It was a half a gallon.
Yeah, something like that.
Half a gallon.
He puts it on the table and proceeds to pull out a box of, what was it, Reese's, and his own bowl from cereal. So he premeditated. He was like, I'm going to eat this cereal at the Sheetz. And we're just like, what are you, dude? So we pick a different table to eat our food at. He eats his cereal. He goes out, and we're like, Damn, that was so weird. We need to take that table.
Yeah, we gotta experience this man's aura.
So we move over there. He leaves, and then not even 5 minutes later, a squad of cop cars pulls into the Sheetz parking lot.
And we're
sirens blaring.
Dude, we're just thinking
what
to
did this guy
ourselves.
do? What?
We're just thinking to ourselves, there's no shot they're not here for that dude. It had to be him. 10 minutes go by, and we're like, fuck, they've been out there a long time. And it turns out they pulled over this black car, and it's just there, a black SUV. And I want to just make it clear that, it might sound like we're exaggerating some of these details. We're not.
No, this happened.
Then, after the lights turn off, 10 minutes later, and we're at, the table, I'm like, man, it's an eventful night. I wonder what that guy did. Nope, totally different guy. Out of this black SUV gets, the tallest dude with, fucking picturesque Greek, black flowy hair. And he's got a limp, and he just looks pissed. And he walks into the store, and we're like, is this the DLC Mortal Kombat roster that everyone's waiting for? Who are these fucking people? He was a character, total character. And I'm like, okay, this is an eventful night. 5 seconds later, he fucks off, he's doing his own thing, and we stop paying attention. The fucking guy with the cereal comes back in and starts. He's not running, but he's pacing, doing laps around the snack aisle with his fucking out of it eyes. And we're just like, Jesus Christ. We're like, what the fuck is going on right now? And I remember specifically, my back was to the window where you'd walk in. Okay. This is the part that broke me, man. I'm looking at Mikey and Brian, and I go, I swear to God, I can't handle this. If one more crazy ass person walks through that door, my grip on sanity is just gonna, And right at that moment, they start cracking up, and I'm like, what? And they're like, you better not turn around then. So I turn around, and again, all the love. It's just a description. The most ginger man, the most Irish man I have ever seen in my fucking life, with a huge Duck Dynasty beer.
Yeah.
Also, not old. Younger dude.
It was red.
It was bright red. All of what I'm about to describe was clearly deliberate. It wasn't out of touch fashion choice. This dude woke up and dressed himself, and that scares me to this day. He had fucking cargo shorts on and a Steelers jersey. And the thickest, I'm talking, dude, it was each chain link was the size of this bottle.
Yeah.
He had a gold neck chain that came down to his stomach, and he was walking around all tough.
Listen, I don't want to deflate you on this one, but I actually was at one of the sports shops, and that's actually an NFL thing now.
You know what's
wasn't
crazy?
It the off season?
Yes. Actually.
Not to mention, that doesn't take away from the fact that dude woke up, got out of his bed, and said, wow, look at all these clothes I own. I'm gonna wear this. What the fuck? It broke me, dude. Incredible. I started laughing so hard I almost threw up all over the floor. And, the whole time going home, I'm laughing my ass off. Yeah.
You actually had to go outside to catch your breath.
Yeah, and it barely worked. I felt like I was gonna faint, dude. Oh my God. I don't know. There was something in the air. It must have been a full moon. All the crazies were out, dude. It was just nuts. Yeah.
And they were all there to hang out with you.
I guess so.
Yeah.
See, that's
But
the
it
thing,
was
though.
funny though when you went in the Union Vapes. We were going to the Union Vape show, and you went into Sheets by yourself. He walks up to the counter, and the guy just goes, "He's in full costume. What were you even buy? A iced tea or
Gatorade.
something?"
Yeah.
And the guy just goes, "Whoa."
Oh yeah, because I always have my eyes blacked out with those huge contacts.
So now you were that guy to somebody else.
Yeah.
That guy's telling that story
Full
about
circle,
you.
bud.
Yeah, they better be telling my story, you know.
But usually that's us after a show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love going to Waffle House in full costume and just
Yes.
and
we're not
still
the weirdest
managing.
ones.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, still managing not to be the weirdest, crazy people in there. It's awesome. you know?
True.
Yeah.
Or when we need something that we forgot, and me and Pat run to Walmart. Right
Yeah.
before the show.
You want?
Yeah, I feel bad because it's just like
I have one more, and if the guy's watching right now, dude, thank you.
You're
for,
a fucking hero. I already know where
thank
this
you
is
for
going.
the best memory I ever had. We just got done playing at what was it, Last Minute Brewing?
Yeah.
We
Shout out
decided-
to that place. They're incredible. Definitely
Yeah,
go
go
try
check
their
their
stuff.
beer out.
they
It's really
got
good.
strong, good stuff.
Yeah.
We decided to go to Denny's after. We go,
Oh.
and there's a bunch of us there, and there's like they put us at this long booth, and I decided to sit facing the window. And one of our friends is telling a story, and our friend Will's sitting to the right of me, and you're to my left, and I'm listening to the story that's happening right in front of me, but something outside catches my attention. This red F-150 pulls in, backs into a spot, and doesn't get out of the vehicle. So obviously I'm like listening to the story, but paying attention.
And it's no earlier than midnight.
This guy gets out of the truck, and he has the most cartoonish cowboy hat on ever. Like, it was actually a pretty cool looking hat, I'm not gonna lie.
Doug Dimmadome just got out of this F-150.
No, listen, I'm not picking on this guy by any means, but what is about to happen? No one's gonna believe, because I couldn't believe it at the time either. I thought I was hallucinating.
I remember you seeing it. You're just like, what?
Yeah, well, the guy gets out of this F-150. He doesn't go into Denny's. For some reason, he decided to reach into the bed of his truck and pull out a Little Tykes big wheel.
Yes.
I'm like, what's he gonna do with that?
It's fucking pissing rain, by the way.
At this point, I can't even tell you what the story was. But he decides to try to ride it in the parking lot. So I'm fixated at this point, and he gets like 2 pedals in. You see his head waddling because it's level with the window, and the next thing I see is just commotion and legs sticking up in the air.
And the
I'm
seat,
unconscious.
the seat flew off.
This guy gets up, all kinds of pissed, picks up the big wheel,
Looks around first to make sure no one saw.
and he bombs it as hard as he can into the box of the truck, gets in, and drives away. I have no idea how this happened. I literally looked at him, I looked at our friend Will, I'm like, you saw that, right? I don't need a doctor.
I've got one better.
Devin too.
I've got one better than thanking the guy. Denny's in Dickson City. If you have the footage of that, please
Send it our
for the
way.
love of God, please give it to us. It had to be it. No, there's no way they have it. It was like 2-3 months ago.
Yeah, but that was probably one of the most
Fuck, man.
off-the-cuff things I've ever seen in my life, but one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a definitive moment there where we just stopped paying attention to whatever was being said at the table.
I thought I needed a doctor for a minute. Like, I thought something was medically wrong with me because there was no way that was reality.
You know Adam, my friend Adam, who was there with us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He still thinks that didn't happen because his back was facing the fucking window. He still thinks we're fucking lying.
That's
he's like,
insane.
no, what's insane is what actually happened. That is valid. If you told me that happened right behind me, I'd be like, you're so
I'm just glad
funny.
that I had
there's
some
no way.
witnesses for it because I thought why would you do that?
Right. That
In the
makes
rain.
No sense.
At a random Denny's
crazy.
at midnight, like on a Friday.
I just, like, why?
If anybody has any kinds of videos like this, please send them to the Band Inbox. We like to watch stuff like this.
And we will reward you with a very, very special compilation of photos we have. This is not a joke. We have a bunch of photos of our dearly beloved bass player taking photos next to dropped food.
The food album.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like very sad hot dogs that were clearly just dropped on concrete. We have a photo album of him just like chilling next to them like
Listen, when you're stuck in the car for hours, you got to find stuff to amuse yourself.
hell yeah.
We have the line from the bathroom when we went on the road with Traverse.
Yeah.
That's Eric
Bathroom
Abyss's
line.
contact photo on my phone. He was so peeved by this lime, and we have no idea how long it was there.
Yeah.
That place was really cool to play at, but man,
It was.
the bathroom was just like a typical venue bathroom, and there's a bar there, so someone took the lime out like maybe 6 months ago or something and stuck it on top of the soap dispenser, and it was kind of just festered up there.
Yeah. That was its home.
No,
So Eric was, like,
six
skeeved out by
months
it.
because it would be black and moldy by
Yeah,
that
true.
point.
Yeah.
It was like maybe
It was
like
no spring chicken though.
a day.
No, it was a little curled up. That was there a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, that actually ties into one of my kind of wrapping up sort of questions. Is,
No shit.
Eric and his whole thing, Sled Dog Entertainment.
Yeah.
And so he's kind of been working with you guys in terms of helping you with your social media. You're getting shows,
Yeah.
things like that. So can you talk a little bit about that relationship, like how that came about,
Absolutely.
like what he's how he's helped you get to work,
Yeah.
doing what you're doing.
I know he plays a massive hand in everything that's Sled Dog and but him, Mark, fucking Keith, like anybody associated with that, like we're so grateful. I know Miranda does a lot of the handling too. Like
yeah.
she's awesome, and I know she loves us. Like everyone in Traverse and Sled Dog, and like on the photography side of it, the show booking, the organization, all of it. Like we're just so grateful to have been working with them this long, and like it's so easy. Like they're great friends as well as like teammates and shit, and like we've had so many of our best moments on the road at shows, like the Ritz Theater show. Like we've had so many standout memories with them, and like
Taco Bell parking lot.
oh yeah,
Middle of New
dude.
Jersey, just everybody sitting on lawn chairs at 2 a.m.
Surprisingly, that story is not the craziest one in our arsenal. I mean, that we've got the ones we just said.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's a great preface. New Jersey Taco Bell parking lot at an RV at 2 a.m.
I was just
But-
surprised they fit the bus through the drive-through.
Me too.
That's what I was impressed about.
Yeah.
They traversed the drive-through.
They did.
Yeah, they did. But yeah, no, those guys are fucking awesome, and nothing but love and respect to them. And I mean, their music just fucks too. They're awesome. But yeah, they're definitely. I mentioned like what you've done for the local scene and everything. I would hold them in like the same regard. There's a couple people in a couple venues that have really given like a voice to the local like metal, hardcore, punk stuff, and you just see it kind of snowballing. Like I feel like we're living in a really special time right now because I feel like that shit was kind of dead for a while. Like clubs were kind of afraid of booking metal stuff and like getting that up and running. And I feel like the scene is kind of coming back. I mean, you mentioned Josh Balls earlier. What he's done with the Ritz is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
And like, it's just such a cool time to be doing what we do. And Eric's right along, and Sled Dog is right along there for us, and like cheering us on, and it's fucking awesome.
It's nice.
It feels like a family.
It's nice to see people care genuinely as opposed to trying to make it a competition, because you definitely hear that from bands over the years of like when I was coming up, it was like we're all against each other and we're all trying to fight, come to my show and not that guy's show and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And
I wasn't going to bring that up, but it's very true, and that's. You remember when I said I would never go back to like doing covers all the time, because the cover scene, anybody who has been a musician in local scene knows there's more money. There's more money in the covers. However, it's so much more rewarding because it's like, hey, can you guys make it to our show? We want to play it together. Or like organizing the bills. Like you don't make it in this scene if you don't work together with people, and that is how it fucking should be. Whereas like I feel like the cover scene, like, and that whole gig, that thing, the way you make the money, the way you pay your bills is by kind of having a monopoly over shit, and I fucking hate that. That's not what I'm about at all, and like I really grew to detest that shit. And honestly, I started Drowning Kelly off as a fucking cover band. It was really confusing on what direction I wanted to go, because you need money to be in a band, and everyone knows that struggle, you know? But it's like, with what Eric's doing, it makes it a lot more accessible. It makes it a lot more realistic to actually start writing your own music, go out and play it, and not be surrounded by fucking assholes who just want you to come see them all the time and, you know, throw all of your money at their band and no one else. It's not like that, and that is so refreshing. It's so cool. It's so cool to see original artists want to share the wealth like that. Mm-hmm. It's inspiring, honestly.
I know we haven't been too far out of the area. That seems to be across the board anymore. Anywhere we've gone,
dude.
Everybody's just been really cool. And like Morrowed, when we played with them down in Maryland, those guys were awesome.
They're fucking
towards
cool.
us.
Yeah.
You know, they were fun to play with. Great band. If you didn't hear them yet, go check them out. But
Dude, yeah. We played with some great bands. Fucking, I'm sorry if I forget anybody, but, you know, quick shout-outs and everything. Fucking, obviously, Eric and his boys, Fight From Within, Since the Fire, Nailbite, Saint Diablo, fucking Strange Culture, Deftones, Slapjaw. Oh my god, Slapjaw is fucking awesome. Like, the Necro Garden. We've played with so many of these bands. And you know what was actually really a funny moment for me? I have a binder of CDs because it's still my favorite way to collect media. And I have just, over the past, like, year that we've been with Sled Dog, I've just watched that binder go from, you know, Chevelle and Slipknot and Billy Idol and Motley Crue and all these big bands. I've watched it go from A-lister artists to all independent artists or like smaller artists, locals, and it's like, I don't regret that at all. The music fucking kicks ass, and it's like, I know every time I'm listening to that, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go see these guys. We'll play together. Like, it's fucking awesome.
I actually like to play with Suburban Downgrade again too.
Oh, dude, they're
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, definitely check them out. They are one of the coolest fucking punk bands playing around right now.
No.
Yeah, and you know,
just super cool
can't
bands
not,
too.
Yeah,
Just nice guys.
Yeah, they're great guys. Can't not bring up Acid Rat. We're playing with them.
Yeah, Acid
for our
Rat's
album
great,
release.
too.
They're opening up the show, so they'll be kicking things off. We're very excited to be
Yeah.
playing Halloween. It's going to be an amazing time.
Strange Culture.
And Slapjaw, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited, man.
Yeah, that's quite the lineup, and an all ages show, which is rare.
Oh, yeah.
So that's nice. That,
Actually, you know what? I think we could actually tell them about the one little thing that I've been working on too.
Sure, go for it.
So, if you're planning on coming to the Halloween show, we teamed up with K-Wizard Skateboards. And they're actually doing a limited run. They're one-offs. Each board is different. There are 4 boards up for grabs and a 5th that's going to get raffled. So, if you want one of those, try to get to the show early because we have one of each, and that is it.
Yeah.
nice. That's awesome.
The designs they cooked up are pretty sick. Yeah.
Go if you skateboard, go check his company out, man. He's a really quality guy, and he's coming up with some pretty cool designs.
Yeah, definitely.
And the other thing that I wanted to mention before we got out of here too is and it's been brought up earlier, but the diabetes aspect.
Yeah.
You have a couple of you guys deal with diabetes.
Yeah.
And you guys kind of bring it up at your live shows and talk about that a little bit. I just wanted to mention, why is that important to you guys to bring that up, and how has that also affected how you, I'm sure it affects how you do the band itself.
Oh, yeah.
Has put barriers in front of
it could be
doing the
disaster
typical
sometimes.
things that a band would do, touring and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, it is obviously a deeply personal thing. I've had it since I was 7, and I got it on my sister's first birthday. So I don't know.
I remember hearing that story.
It sounds fake. It sounds like just so bad.
Yeah, I remember, like, your dad came home one time, he told me that story when we were, like, 17. I cried, dude. I cried.
It's fucking sad, but that's the thing. You know what? You ask how it affects how we do music and why even bring it up.
Yeah.
It's because it's always something like that. It's fucking sad. I mean, it's like, it's tough because, we live in a world full of memes and jokes, and I laugh at some diabetic jokes. They're fucking funny. Funny is funny, you know?
Yeah.
But the reality of the situation is it is super fucking debilitating. It is just like any other insane sickness that just completely destroys your quality of life. You know, you have to make so many changes, and all of them suck, you know? It's like, specifically growing up young, you know, you go to your friend's birthday party, and they're all eating cake or whatever, and it's like, well, you gotta wait 15 minutes and take a shot, you know? And it's like, explain that to a 7-year-old and have them still live a happy life, you know? It's tough, and like, I don't really think there is a correct way to even go about that, because it's also not a one-size-fits-all. You know, they both have it.
Yeah.
And
I was
like,
diagnosed at 11.
Oh, wow.
21 for me.
And he was 21.
fucking bitch.
So, even like...
Listen, I missed the cutoff for juvenile diabetes by like 2 months. I don't want to hear it. I'm still pissed about it.
Yeah, I know.
But you know what? I think the reason why it's brought up live is because until you really deal with it, you don't really fully understand what it's like.
Yeah.
Because one moment you could feel normal, good. Next moment, go through a spike or a drop.
It's hospital time.
You feel like complete shit.
Yep. And then you're done for the day. And
Yeah.
it's just a way for us to say like, hey, us too, we're dealing with this.
Yeah, like, we get
we see what you're dealing with, and we're come talk about it. You know?
Yeah, and the reason I brought up the memes too is because it's so many times that you hear it's like, oh, you have diabetes, so like you gotta watch your sugar, right? It's like, well, yeah, but that's like tip of the iceberg. Like
Carbs turn into sugar.
you gotta think about every single snack, meal, everything that you put into your body as like a deliberate choice, and you have to calculate all of the carbs, the sugars. You gotta balance out how that's going to interact with the rest of your day. And this is every single time you eat. But also, that's just when you eat. That doesn't even get into the like
Emotions.
Yeah.
part of it. So, like, if you get angry, that
Right.
can make your sugar go high.
Yep.
So,
or like the Hulk.
I mean,
Just not as cool.
We get powers.
We get pissed and we turn yellow.
The only problem is when it goes the other way, then you just
No,
pass
it's based
out.
off of how many gushers you pop in your mouth. Like, you know, how many, if you eat a bunch of green ones, you turn green like him, you eat a bunch of blue ones.
Oh no, I was making the joke that like if we get too much, you know, whatever, and we'll get like fucking jaundice. That's where I was going.
That
with
was
it.
dark, but you know, honestly, my favorite band moment is we'll be like wrapping up at practice, and one Dexcom beeper will go.
Oh, we're like, who is it?
Everybody just starts shit in their pockets.
Yo, so
me today.
it was at the Mosh for Tots last year. We started off the show, so like we burned all our energy. We were talking to the crowd, looking around, interacting with people. By the end of the night, I'm an early morning person. I like to go to bed around like 9, 10
He's the
o'clock.
band grandpa.
Yes, I am.
We
I
had a 10
am.
o'clock band meeting, and he's out.
And so it was the end of the night for Mosh for Tots. We were going later. I was like sleeping with like a beanie over my eyes. I changed out of like my stage clothes into my like comfy sweats. I have my sweater on. I have my beanie over my eyes, taking a little nap in the green room. I hear the beeping, and like with the beanie over my eyes, I rise and I'm like, who is it? Who's low?
Yeah. But
Just like when we were trying to make our promo for
oh yeah.
last year.
Yeah, we were trying to make the promo, and it took me fucking forever to get the lines right. Just like, don't forget about this detail, don't forget about these bands, you know. Make sure you say like, you know, you can get in with a ticket or you can make a donation. I could not get it right. I finally get everything right. I got the right spacing in between my words. I'm feeling good about the take, you know. I feel like I don't look stupid. Like I'm just happy with it. And of course, cuz, you know, God fucking hates us. As soon as I'm about to finish, a fucking alarm goes off. And we were like, who was it? I was like, I'm gonna kill someone.
It was you.
It was me. Son of a bitch.
Let's say like the third
So
take
mad.
or fourth take later,
No.
then it was mine.
Yeah.
So mine ruined it, and then Ronan's ruined it.
Yeah. We were just like, It was rough.
It was like 87 takes before we got it right.
Again, not
For
an
a
exaggeration.
15-second clip.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
15
it
seconds.
was so. I remember the one time. Oh, we got to one of them. I was like, guys, let's just make a post. Like, I don't think I can do this. I really don't. And then I got it. It was like, all right, cool. We'll go with that one. Fuck. Just press stop before something else goes wrong. But yeah, man. Yeah.
But even if you don't have diabetes, I think anybody who has one of those, I guess I'd say hidden illnesses.
Yeah.
Because we're kind of
It's
taught
not
by
obvious.
society to cover it up.
Yeah.
You know, don't let anybody know you have these things. Everybody just suck it up and go to school, go to work, go do what you're supposed to do. And don't let anybody know that you feel this way or that you're sick or you're whatever and that sort of thing. Like, you know, I grew up with, which I was originally diagnosed with Crohn's disease.
Yeah, that's a tough
And
one.
so
man.
I thought that's and that's what they were medicating me for. And then I found out later after seeing several specialists, because there were ones who were just completely useless.
Yeah.
Got to the which is the whole other discussion.
Yeah, we know that's
the whole
too.
medical
Yeah.
thing and the way it's set up, and it's all about money and everything else. So I finally found a specialist who's like, you don't have Crohn's disease. You have and I'm not saying just, but you have irritable bowel syndrome and a spastic colon, which I would medicate you differently for, and you would approach certain things differently. They're similar, but you know,
Right.
a lot of similar symptoms, but not exactly the same thing. But that's also something I've dealt with as a kid and then growing up and whatever else. And then when you tell people about it, they're like, "Oh, so you have a poopy problem?
Yeah.
Your tummy hurts?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so bad." And it's like, it's way, way worse than you think.
Come walk a day in my shoes and then make fun of it.
Like imagine being in absolutely like you swallowed razor blades and then you sat there in the bathroom for 2 to 3 hours and then you had to go to work, or you're late for work, or you're late for an event or a show or whatever else because of that, you know, like, and it's so frustrating to have to like, you know, and most of the time you don't want to even explain it to people, so you just blow it. Yeah, I'm just late all the time. It's me. I'm an idiot. I can't keep track of time.
In
you know?
Caustic, which is the one we dedicate to everybody with diabetes, the ending line of the second verse is, so why should I cling to hope when it's never there to stay, and I'm so fucking sick and tired of explaining.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
So you get it, man.
So you just go, sure, whatever, you know, and you just kind of blow it off and move on. But I think a lot of people can, you know, even if they don't necessarily have diabetes, they can relate to those types of things that you just have to deal with every day.
Yeah, and I mean, we went so like full steam ahead with that whole idea of dedicating that to people with diabetes because so many younger people and older, like everybody's got it now. Like it's become this thing that is super common. I remember getting looked at like I had 3 heads when I told them it was a 7-year-old with diabetes. You know, like and now it's like you see it all the time, and it fucking sucks. You know, and like I know that as a kid, especially listening to bands like Breaking Ben and all the Disturbed, all the guys I mentioned before, you know. I found strength in that music for sure, and it gave me that place where I could be myself. But as far as doing something nobody else is doing, I think there's a lot of bands out there who speak on mental health. You know, that's a huge, huge topic in our community. Yeah. But really, and it's such a niche thing, like I get it. It's not like it's like, oh, I can't believe no one's talking about this, but I haven't ever seen a band talk about diabetes. Yeah. I'm sure we're not the first.
No, but that's what stood out to me, yeah.
It's the first that I've seen, at least in this area. Mm-hmm. And it's like, seeing all these people get it, and like, I just want people to know, you know, just like with everything else I've spoken about, everything that people can go on, like, or go through, I mean, like, you're not alone. You know, there are people out there who will give you love and show you that they understand. And like, there is always some sort of thing out there that you can grasp. There's something out there for you that will make you feel better. And if we can provide that to even just a handful of people, I don't really care where the band goes as far as success, because that is success. at the end of the day, making people feel seen, heard, and loved just because they're human. And that's what everybody deserves. That is our mission. That's our goal. And that is something that I feel like already we have succeeded at. And like, you know, everything else is just extra to be enjoyed, you know? So, yeah. So that's why we have such a heavy connotation on diabetes, and we try to speak out against it because it is so difficult to go through. And it's like you said, it's one of those things where it's like, unless you've been through it directly, or like people just don't understand. They don't understand how insanely difficult it is. And yeah.
So to end on a happy note and bring up the room a little bit, because we're doing this show on Halloween,
yes,
and obviously we've got you guys, I would assume, love Halloween.
I've heard of it.
Tell us, what are your favorite? What's your favorite part of Halloween? The season, the traditions. What's the one thing you gotta, you know, other than obviously play the show, do on Halloween or leading up to Halloween or anything like that?
Same reason I started writing music and actually started like doing whatever I wanted with it is because Halloween was always my favorite holiday, because it was the one day of the year I felt like I could be whoever I wanted to be. All of my troubles were behind me for a couple hours. I could just do whatever I wanted and be whoever I wanted, whether it was dressing up as a costume or hanging out with my friends. And then I realized, you know, through writing music and planning shows, it's like, oh shit, you know, you can kind of do that every day, you know? So I see Halloween as a celebration of that mentality, where you can just live life like a party, and whoever you want to be, you go be that person. So that's my favorite tradition with it, is just like planning fun costumes, doing something fucking crazy with your friends, and doing a party, or, you know, just making memories with the people that you love. And just, it's a day of partying, you know? So that's my thing. But I'll pass it to someone else right after this. I do have one really weird tradition that I do, and it's just so much fun.
I think you should just share that right now.
Yeah. So as soon as I feel the temperature change, and I'm like, okay, it's spooky season, bitches. I grab a hot chocolate, I go down a back road, and I drive, and I put on fucking Superstitious by Stevie Wonder. That is one of my favorite songs.
Nice.
And that's how I kick off the Halloween season. As soon as I feel that chill in the air, every year I go do that. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Nice.
Gotta take a good friend with you, though. You know?
I don't know. For me, it's every year. October 1st hits, and it's hard with playing now, but it used to be go to as many haunted houses as we can. This year we had to cut it a little short, so we're not going to make it to Penhurst, but like Feel the Screams, Hotel Horror in Saylorsburg, you got to see them if you haven't. It's something fun to do.
Yeah.
It gives October that eerie vibe that everybody wants, and I enjoy, so that's my tradition.
Oh, yeah.
I just love fall. So my favorite thing to do in the fall is ride my motorcycle. It's cool. Wear a jacket or a hoodie. Just enjoy the scenery. That's honestly what I enjoy to do.
Taking that vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
While listening to Stevie Wonder and having a hot chocolate.
There you go.
I don't really have any October Halloween things I do yearly. I guess really the only thing I do as tradition around this time of year, and it started as a complete joke. It was 2017. Right after high school, I had joined the military, right? So August, I left for basic training. I was in there for a couple months. I remember on a stupid whim on September, wait, right? Is it 30 days in September? Yeah, it's 30, right?
You're asking the wrong person. I'm lucky if I remember my own name.
Yeah, it's 30 days in September. So, on the 30th, I wasn't scheduled to have fire guard at all that night, but I asked the guys, I was like, can you put me on for midnight tonight? They were like, why? Just wake me up when September ends. That was the entire joke. And I just kept doing that every year.
Come up somewhere.
No, I don't know why. That's the only joke or thing I do yearly. I just keep doing that.
You gotta keep it going now.
Yeah, and
You
so
look like you're in a little bit of pain there, bud.
A little bit. Oh my god. Fuck me.
that's why I did it, to hurt you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I needed that.
Yeah. So
Jesus Christ.
I voluntarily just stood up for an hour and ruined my sleep for a night to make myself laugh. Because who else is going to make me laugh in there? Yeah,
True.
that's it.
That's
And I want to mention that we this was announced right before we did the podcast that you guys are playing the Sherman Theater,
Yes.
the main stage at the Sherman Theater, with A Killer's Confession and Dogma on Saturday, November 15th with Dead Code.
we are so excited for that.
Yeah, we can't wait.
That is pretty damn cool.
Make sure y'all buy your tickets for that. We want to see a lot of Drowning Kelly shirts in the audience. We are gonna fucking bring it for that
We
one.
actually have tickets on the way, so if you're interested in coming down and hanging out with us down there, definitely get in contact with us. We'll be able to get you some tickets.
Yep.
Yeah. That is gonna be a fun show.
That's kind of a bucket list place to play for me. So
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
going to shows there for a long time and always wanted to get up there. So it's going to feel a little bit different. It's going to be like the Ritz amplified, I think. Like, no, guys, really, this time I think we might die as soon as we walk out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if I nervous vomit, which hasn't happened yet, so
I almost did right before the Ritz show.
if that does happen, I'll just turn it into the next stage gag. You know, just do something with it and fucking throw it at
Listen,
somebody.
as long as you
throw it at
stop-
someone's teenager.
As
Yeah,
long as
yeah,
you
sure.
stop soaking every stage in water,
Never.
we're good.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I almost get injured every time you do that.
Got to keep you on your toes.
Yeah, no.
On our toes, not on our ass. Because there has been times I've almost fucking slipped. Honestly.
Well, you know what? The one time you did, and it just happened to be at the Ritz, but you covered that up so good.
Oh yeah. Oh, I fucked my knee up. You can see it. I think it was in.
Fucking mirrors.
Yeah, smoke and mirrors right at the first breakdown. I jumped off the riser and slipped in a puddle that I made. Smacked the fucking shit out of my knee. It was awesome. It was so awesome.
You know what I remember though? This wasn't from that one. It was from the other time at the Ritz. It's stuck.
That was so good. Oh no, that was the same show.
That was the same show.
At the
you
end
did
of the
that?
stinger, yeah. So there's and I still
It's
had the
on
mic
YouTube.
right by my face too. Yeah, so you could see this in the clip. I went to go like take my hair down, so like headbang and shit, and I just had the worst knot. And my hair tie got stuck. I was like, fucking come on. And I was just like on the mic, I was like, it's stuck. I was like, fuck it.
I just had to like hold myself because I was like, oh, you poor bastard. And I was laughing.
I didn't realize it till watching it like a month later because I was just trying to laser focus. So
Oh, I was so done with that fucking hair tie that at that point I was like, well, yanking on the hair tie is not going to work. So I'll just rip my hair out. That'll work. So I figured out which strands it was attached to. Like, yoink. Okay, that was fun. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to mention before we get out of here?
Drowning Kelly sucks. Should not support them. Terrible people. And thank you for having us, man. Honestly.
Thank
thanks
you.
for having us.
Really appreciate it. And
welcome.
everybody that took the time to watch this and comment and everything, we just want to say, just like we do at the ending of our shows, what we do is not possible without you guys. And like, we appreciate you so much. And we love seeing all of you guys at the shows. And it means the world to us that we get to do what we love because of you guys. So thank you for supporting us. And thank you for your time.
All right, so Eclipse, the new 8-track album from Drowning Kelly will be released on Halloween, Friday, October 31st on all major streaming platforms. Drowning Kelly is celebrating the release of their new album Eclipse with an all-ages Halloween show at the Moon Tavern in Dickson City on Friday, October 31st with Strange Culture, Slapjaw, and Acid Rat. Doors are at 6. Tickets are $15 in advance or $20 a day of the show. Halloween costumes are encouraged, I believe, right?
Fuck yeah, they are.
And they're also opening for Killer's Confession and Dogma at the Sherman Theater in Stroudsburg on Saturday, November 15th with Dead Code. Tickets are on sale now. You can get them from the band or online at shermantheater.com. So if you guys, and it seems like by our very active comment section that you enjoyed this, make sure that before you leave, you give it a like and give it a share to your own personal page so that more people can see the show and catch on to it. We're always trying to look for new people to catch on to the show and bring people in week after week. So we can't do that without you guys because the algorithm gods do not always shine upon us. So we need your help to appease them with the sacrifice of not sharing something stupid or political or another meme. Share something useful that will help people. And stuff like this, I think anyway, and I'm a little biased because I'm running this, but I think it helps people to share their content and get this stuff out there and let people know what's going on in their community, about their local bands, their local scene, all that stuff. But that doesn't happen without you guys helping us get to that level. So thank you so much. We appreciate it. Like, comment, share, all the good algorithm stuff. Summer, anything else you want to mention?
Yeah, Eric said John Kelly headline Saturday for Mosh for Tots 2025.
Oh, yes.
Hell yeah.
For
Yeah.
Tots.
Yeah, we're excited for that one too. That's going to be...
Go from an opener to a headliner.
Yeah. And
Yeah, dude.
in just 1 year's time, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Well, we got to thank Eric for that one.
Yes,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
you know. But we need...
Thank ourselves too. I mean, we put in the work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No, but it's cool to see it get recognized.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but on that, I think I need about 3 more seconds.
Sure.
No. No.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh, yeah. It's not...
No.
I'm saying it.
I didn't hear it.
No, don't do it.
Why?
Just don't.
I didn't hear it, so I can't agree.
He's gonna be dumb.
Shout out mental illness. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you soon.
Good night,
Hey, man,
everybody.
it's a good writer.
Yeah.
Cool.